In the early hours of night I opened up the app. There saw 1,000 fools online, all spewing out their claptrap. Grabbed myself a coffee, said a prayer before the battle. Cracked my knuckles, cleared my throat, prepared to scatter callow. For the degenerates were posting of their filth, they all were boasting. Every sacred thing worth holding they were mocking and were roasting. With my Bible and my wit, I refused to let them sit. Trying to humble every twit on the rocky road to TikTok.
Make sure you smash the like button, share live, do the things you need to, ladies, gentlemen.
Where he hides all the way through TikTok. Watch them fall tonight. First I found a skeptic who was proud of his rejection. Thought he'd studied all the text but couldn't pass inspection. Threw his little arguments like pebbles at a tower. Watched them bounce right off the walls and crumble in an hour. Oh, he stammered and he stuttered. Every comeback that he muttered fell apart like stale bread that was moldy, torn and buttered. All his followers went quiet when they saw him lose the riot on the rocky road to TikTok. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, hunt the serpent, cut him down, expose him where he hides all the way through TikTok. Watch them fall tonight. Then there came a louder voice who loved his sin and pleasure, called the wicked things he did his freedom and his treasure. Said that God was just a myth, morality a prison, but he couldn't hold his ground once the actual bait had risen. Oh, his confidence was cracking, any substance he was lacking. Sent him home with all his pride in pieces and in packing. Serpent thought he had the juice, but I cooked him like a goose on the rocky road to TikTok. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, hunt the serpent, cut him down, expose him where he hides all the way through TikTok. Watch them fall tonight. Started flying, all the heathens were uniting. Thought their numbers gave them power, thought they'd send me into hiding. But I've read the end already, know exactly how this goes. Every enemy of heaven always reaps just what he sows. So they came in waves like vermin, but I stood there never squirming. Gave them each a turn to speak, then sent them homeward burning. One by one they bit the dust, their arguments were rust on the rocky road to TikTok. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, hunt the serpent, cut him down, expose him where he hides all the way through TikTok. Watch them fall tonight. Now the battle isn't over, there'll be more of them tomorrow. More who think their cleverness can save them from their sorrow. But I'll be there with the truth, unmovable and steady. Every serpent, every fool, I promise I'll be ready.
I'm always fighting with customer support
tonight and want to test your might. Step into the ring with me,
always
fight. If you can fight. But know that when you lose your ground and tumble all around, you got cooked without a sound on the rocky road to TikTok. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, hunt the serpent, cut him down, expose him where he hides all the way through TikTok. Watch them fall tonight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I did not see this. That's insane.
Expose him where he hides all the way through TikTok. Watch them fall tonight.
What's the coolest thing I ever grinded for in a game? It all sucks when you get it. Best movie ever? Best movie ever is probably Dune 2. It's kind of hard to say. It's kind of hard to say with the best movie ever, man. Best movie ever. That's a wild take. That's like what would be the best movie ever made? That's a good question. The new Spider-Man is good. It looks good. My only contention with the new Spider-Man is it possibly might be too much. They might have too much going on in it. That's what I'm worried about with the new Spider-Man. Is that they're trying to do Man Spider. They're trying to, well, Punisher and Man Spider go together. They kind of have to do that. But then they're doing Jean Grey as well. And then they're also coming back off the whole he lost all of his friends motif. There might be too much going on in there. Right? And then the hand is in there too. Too much. It might be too much. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Lord of the Rings is up there for sure. Lord of the Rings is up there for contender for best movie ever made. I have to say the Batman trilogy for me are my favorite movies. I don't know if they're the best movies. I don't know, bro. I don't know. The Matrix, no. Matrix is fun. It's not the best. It's not the best. The Avengers, not Endgame, but the one with Thanos. What was that? That's up there.
Infinity War.
Infinity War is up there. Best movies ever
Why
made.
does my mic keep dropping?
Huh? What do you mean? What do you mean?
It keeps.
Yeah, it's not tight enough. Longer. Have you ever considered lifting a weight?
I do every day.
Yeah. I gotta get you in focus. Start the live. Well, it's kind of hard to put her in focus when we get started because, because we're sending the stream generally. But we should probably do that before that. Princess Bride, it's up there.
It's a great movie.
It's up there.
Yes.
The movie's got to have longevity for it to be considered great. It's got to be something, and that's the problem with like the newer movies is it has a tested time yet. But so many new movies, back then there wasn't so many movies coming out. Now there's a movie coming out every other day. There's like famous or famous actors that are just like all of a sudden in a movie I never heard of. Just like as I'm flipping, I'm like, what the hell is this movie and why are they in it? And it came out last week. So it's too much. Also, look, I added this little thing, so don't forget to like and subscribe. Click the thing.
What was the movie we watched recently that was just full of people?
Oh wow. I know exactly what you're talking about, but I have no idea what you're talking about. We just watched it.
Was it the road trip one?
Yeah. Oh yeah. No. It had it was the road trip. It was the one with my God, forgetting all their names. But it's like
Melissa McCarthy.
This girl steals this guy's identity.
What's his name?
And he goes and gets his identity back, and there's just like every famous actor is in this movie for some reason. So, and we were like, what the heck? We didn't even know this movie came out, and it's got all the famous actors. It was a bit long. It had too much.
Yeah.
It had too much in it. Not a contender. Good movie, not a contender. I'm trying to think now what would be contenders for like the best movies. And I'm like a real movie guy. Like I love movies. Like I don't just like movies. I love movies. I'm a real big movie. I nerd out about movies.
Big nerd.
So I'm just trying to think. What the heck is with that little green bar? Let's just get rid of that. Oh. There we go. Now it's gone. I just had to zoom in a little bit. Yeah, no, it's a big hobby of mine. Like we got the Blu-ray player and everything kind of thing. We collect the Blu-rays type of thing because we want to see it in the best quality. No, I'm trying to think here. No Country for Old Men. Okay, No Country for Old Men is a contender. The problem is it's slow and the ending sucks, but if it doesn't have a great ending, I'm not putting it in the category. It's got to have an ending that's satisfying. That's satisfying. Greatest TV show of all time is Breaking Bad. I'm going to say that right now. That's the greatest. It's got one bad episode. Out of all the episodes, it's got one bad episode, and it's the Stupid Fly episode. Stupid Fly episode.
Someone says Star Wars original trilogy. Tell them how you feel about Star Wars.
Star Wars, all the Star Wars. Listen, here's the thing. I love Star Wars, and I used to actually fight for Star Wars, and then I really thought about it one day. I'm like, do I actually like these movies? Or am I just fighting for it because it's the cool thing to do? And I realized nostalgia is a part of it too. But I succumbed to peer pressure where everybody's like, the first original 3 Star Wars are amazing and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, yeah, I agree because all the popular people are saying it. And I was really like on it. And then I really thought about it. Every time I've tried to watch the original 3, I haven't been able to make it through because it's so boring. It's bad. It's not good. And okay, we'll just do an original episode. So episode 1, 2, 3 is actually better than 4, 5, 6, except for Jar Jar Binks. If they didn't have Jar Jar Binks in there, I don't think people would be as mad. Right? That's the only thing that ruined it. It's actually pretty good. It's got better fight scenes. It's kind of cringy. It's cheesy, but it's fun. It's more fun and more of a spectacle. Not as good at writing, but more fun, more of a spectacle. Okay? The original trilogy is old as hell, man. I'm sure at the time it was great, but it's so old that the things that they were trying to achieve looked great for the time, but nowadays it doesn't hold up and the writing isn't the greatest. What is it? Luke Skywalker. Luke Skywalker's a whiny little baby, the whiny little wimpy baby. And then don't even get me started. The newest 3 that came out.
Trash.
We're trash. The first one was okay. The first one of the newest 3 was okay.
Trash too.
It was okay. It was fun. It was fun to watch. But as soon as he took out, like they started off so strong, man. Comes out with the mask. He's all cool. Stops the laser beam in the air. I was like, this is so cool. And then he takes off his mask. I'm a whiny little baby. I'm a whiny little baby. I'm a whiny little baby. And so so they're trash. Rogue One, mwah, masterpiece. If only for the hallway scene. Still a good movie all around, but the hallway scene with Darth Vader and Rogue One.
Did you ever watch Solo? I don't think I minded that much, but I don't remember.
Why isn't my thing working? Why isn't my zoom buttons working? None of them are working. That's working. Why aren't my zoom buttons working?
But I couldn't hear that.
Why? I hadn't played yet. I canceled it.
Oh.
What is going on with my zoom buttons? Why? I have to close and reopen it, I think. Oh my god. Things keep dying on me and just like on my computer. Like I get everything set up and working and then they just stop. And it just stops. It's like, no, I'm done. No, I'm not doing that anymore. I was working. Now I'm going to stop. All right, guys, smash the like button, share live, do the things that you need to do. We need 20,000 likes on TikTok. And as soon as I get this up and going again, at least $50 on the dono bar, and then we're going to start taking guests. Today's topic is the topic that needs to always be done is why should I, there we go. I got it working. Just had to reset the thing. It kind of shuffles me now. It's okay. It's okay. Freaking. I was just trying to get rid of this stupid little green thing. All right, hold on. There we go. See how there's like a little green bar there? You guys can see that? The green bar?
No. Oh, I see it.
Yeah.
I don't think you can see it on the.
Can you guys see it? I know TikTok can't see it. Don't say I can't see it if you're on TikTok. I'm gonna stab you. I mean, I'm gonna hug you. We don't want to get banned already.
You do have a super chat.
Oh. Okay, guys. Let's do 4K today. Stryker needs to carry since he missed out last time. I agree. I agree. Listen. Money. Goals are great. It's good to hit goals, but then once you hit a goal, you got to hit another one. That's the problem with goals. It's kind of like jiu-jitsu, right? You get your belt and you're striving for the next one, right? You know, you get your stripe on your black belt. You want your next one. You guys can't see it. Well, as long as you guys can't see it, then it's not a big deal. Yeah. Only barely on your phone. Okay, well then it's fine. I'll fix it another day. Anyways, yeah. So we need to achieve. But we hit what 3,500 last time. We need to do 4K today. 4K today, and then we'll need to do 5K after that, and then we'll go up to 10K. 10K a day. That'd be great. Abby, open up the shorts chat.
Okay.
They're sending us out to the comment section, into the trenches with no protection, where reason dies and chaos reigns. The shorts chat battlefield where nothing remains.
By the way,
we march into
half a pound left to hit my goal. Half a pound.
Brain rot takes everyone we've got. 15 seconds of absolute hell. This is where good soldiers fell. We're going to the shorts chat where souls go to die. Moderating madness, saying our last goodbye. Send reinforcements, we won't make it back. Lost in the shorts chat. Under attack. The comments move faster than we can read. Deleting nonsense, fighting the feed. First and ratio, echo in the void. Every brain cell systematically destroyed. We tried to bring order to the storm, but the algorithm doesn't conform. 3-word sentences, no punctuation. This is digital degradation. Remember us when we don't return. Our minds consumed, our spirits burned. We gave our sanity for the cause, fighting through TikTok's endless flaws. Tell our families we tried our best.
This song is not it, someone says. Well,
Clearly, you've never been to the Shorts chat.
also, songs are subjective.
We went to the Shorts chat where souls go to die, moderating madness, no one heard our cry. No reinforcements, we didn't make it back, lost in the Shorts chat. Faded to black.
I'm still trying to connect the TikTok chat. Can't do it. Can't figure it out. Haven't been able to figure it out for a long time. John plays MMORPGs for sure. I don't think I've ever... No, that's not true. I played Guild Wars 2 when I was like 15.
Where souls go.
I think that's the last one I played.
Goodbye.
I'm glad it brings you joy. It's good. It's good that it brings you joy. It's good. Andrew Wilson did this thing where I thought it was really cool, and I want to steal the idea, where he doesn't just play songs, he has music videos along with the songs.
What?
So he plays the song and plays a music video and gets people all hyped up for it. I thought that was cool. I might steal that idea.
I feel like that's too much.
Nothing. No, nothing's too much. We're here to entertain. I still got to add that button. Are you not entertained? I keep forgetting to do it. Are you not? It's like one of the most common ones that I use, so I should put it in there. Morgs are hard to play with a full-time job, LOL. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I'm donating to remind everyone that Dragon Ball Evolution is the true pinnacle of filmmaking, truly a cinematic masterpiece that outshines them all. Broly. Dragon Ball Super Broly. When Kakarot, when he's like doing the dance thing, he's getting ready to go, and he's like Kakarot, and it goes in, I get pumped. Man. I get pumped.
I think you skipped a super chat, unless you read
I
it.
skipped the super chat?
Yep.
Grift it. We didn't skip it. We put it on the screen.
Oh, okay.
We made money last time, so now I'm not reading any super chats unless it's at least 20. No, I'm just joking. I wouldn't do that. WoW is I never played. Well, I wouldn't say never. I played it at a friend's house in passing, but I never actually played WoW. Never really did that. Still, Andrew Wilson's chain smoking. I'll keep my lungs healthy. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no.
The Goonies. They never die. I actually didn't like the Goonies. Wasn't a big fan of that. Happy Pride Month, everyone. Oh, I just gonna go into Christian chats and say Happy Pride because I'm so edgy. It's gonna make him so angry. It's gonna make him so mad. Pride Month is dying. It's so awesome. Nobody's putting flags up. Nobody's doing big celebrations. No one's doing commercials. Oh, my goodness gracious. It's not happening. I'm a Christian, whatever you say there, bucko. All I need is to raise a crisp $150 million to rent out the Coliseum, then set up John with a real fight. You don't have to do a Coliseum. Oh, I'm down to fight most people. Most people, not all people. Some people, it's not a wise setup. Fighting is all about I keep telling this to people. It's like I want to fight, but there's so many good people. It's like, it's all about, what's the word I'm looking for? When they line you up with another partner, there's a specific word.
I don't know.
Oh my God. The setup, whatever it is, the partner or your opponent that they set you up with. Because when you just for example, if you just go into the UFC, there's a reason you're not fighting the top 10 guys because you're going to get your ass beat. Right. So it's all about who you fight. It's not about being the best fighter. It's just a game of rock, papers, matchup. It's the matchup. That's the word I was looking for. Fighting is all about the matchups, right? If you got a poor matchup, it's going to be a bad day. If you got a good matchup, it's going to be a good day. Right? So that matchmaking, yeah. This is such a thing. Aren't you so proud of what hole you put it in? It's like, it's the grossest thing. Let's all celebrate where we put our genitalia. Let's all celebrate.
Well, not everybody. Not everybody. It's not for everybody. It's just for them.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
It'd be weird if we did it.
Yeah. Yeah, it would be weird. If I had to choose which is worse, The Last Jedi or Dragon Ball Evolution, I think I give it to The Last Jedi. I didn't watch Dragon Ball Evolution, but I talk crap about it without even watching it. Well, look at me go. Look at me go. Jesus never existed. That'd be a riveting argument. I'd be very curious to hear how you could prove that. And once we get 5,000 more likes, oh yeah, I also got to do this. I forgot to put that up. I forgot to put that up there. And this.
Jeez, get it together.
I'm forgetting so many things. Hold on. Which one is it? It's this one. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Do not watch Dragon Ball Evolution. I won't. Trust me, I won't do it. Shalom. Shabbat shalom. 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 Shalom lama ding dong.
That was so funny.
That was hilarious.
We should finish that show.
Yeah, it's good. It kind of started being not as good. But we could. Yeah. Holloway or McGregor? It's hard to say. If we get old classic McGregor, it's going to be McGregor. If we get the new McGregor that was like strictly boxing, here's the thing with McGregor. I'm going to get a little technical on you guys. When McGregor fought like this, when he fought with the karate stance, when he was ready to counter with that left, well, I'm right-handed, but he would bait people, boom, with this, and then he would come in and bop, and get the knockout. That was prime Conor McGregor. He went from that to this.
Didn't look good.
Boxing. He's not a closed-in boxer. He's a karate base. If he sticks to his karate base, I think he's going to wreck. That's how he does it. But Conor McGregor, when he went boxing, he's like, I'm a boxer now. He got destroyed. He got absolutely destroyed because he doesn't know how to fight at a close range. This is close range fighting. Right? This is like an inch away from the person you're going to fight. Right? He's a counter fighter. He's a long fighter. That's how he should do it. Right? I think it doesn't work with somebody like Khabib. With Khabib, he should have done that. Because Khabib's going to come in, and it wouldn't have made a difference with Khabib. But he should have done that with Khabib. But somebody like Dustin Poirier, he shouldn't have done that. He needed to go back to his style. And he would have wrecked him. So it's going to depend. If we get classic Conor, I think there's a good chance Conor can win. But on the same note, Holloway has got some cage experience right now. He looked really, really good, right? Even though he got knocked out by Ilia Topuria, he still looks phenomenal. I also have a lot to say about the Gaethje and Topuria fight.
Awesome.
Oh, it was so good. It was so good. And people messaged me. It's like, your boy Ilia got smoked. Ilia wasn't my boy. Justin Gaethje is my boy. I just thought Ilia was going to win. And I actually argue that Ilia was a better fighter. Let me explain before everybody gets mad. Ilia absolutely destroyed him in the grappling. Wrecked him. He actually wrecked him in the boxing too. If you notice in the second round when he was moving around him and he was landing those body shots and he had really good footwork, the technical ability was just astronomical. Here's the thing. He's never had to fight somebody who hits as hard as Justin Gaethje. Justin Gaethje's the hardest hitter in his weight division for sure. So as soon as he felt a crack and he was hurt, right? He didn't know how to adjust and he wanted to keep boxing. Gaethje won because he's got heart and he's got grit and he hits like a brick shit house. All right, so he hit him hard, and then he was out of it. I think if Ilia Topuria would have switched to grappling after he got hit hard, right, he would have won. I think if you get a second one, I think for sure Ilia Topuria wins. Not again because I'm not an Ilia Topuria fanboy. I just think he's that good. Ilia Topuria has never had to go to war, and he didn't know what to do once he got hit hard. Once he had to go to war, he did not know what to do. Bro, get a real job. Can you define for me what a real job is? Not an example, an actual definition. Can you give me a definition of a real job? Once you give me an actual criteria or methodology on how one finds a real job, I will go find one for you as a person on the internet who just likes to judge random people. All right, guys, we hit the 20,000 likes, but we have no one in the queue. Or at least I don't think we do. No, we have no one in the queue. People are not patient. We get a whole bunch of people in the queue when we start, and then they don't wait for the 20,000. They leave right away. That's a good sign, because those people who come in and go right away are the people who are just going to scream how stupid you are, because that's the only reason they're there. Mrs. Steele,
Yeah.
can you give me a hot coffee with a creatine in it?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I got to guess though, real quick. So hold on.
Okay.
Hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you?
Hello, I'm 35.
All right, can you convince me to stop worshiping Jesus?
No, because Jesus is the best thing that ever lived. I was trying to, you're doing ops only, aren't you?
Yes.
Says no Christians. You seem like a nice guy. But we're going to stick to that. Hot creatine with a coffee, actually. That's okay. All the Trinity worships will burn by the power of Allah. Imagine wishing that upon somebody. Imagine wishing. Look, these are the notes I had from last time, just scribbly lines because the guy was just yapping. Imagine like just looking at someone and being like, I hope you burn. I hope you suffer. I hope you go to hell. Like, even Christians who do that, I find it pretty gross. Like, we should desire all to come to the knowledge of salvation. All to come to the knowledge of salvation. Imagine trolling without a grifter's badge. We got a grifter's badge just right here.
Toss a coin to your grifter.
Right there. Send in the trolls. Well, we don't got any trolls yet. We did open the shorts chat. Yeah, everything's open. We just got no one. It might be a slow Monday. We'll see. The yapper that sparked the money tree. Oh no, not that cup. That cup burns my hands. Huh? Can I please share my testimony? No. You want salvation for your worst enemy? Yes, of course I do. I want everybody to come to the knowledge of salvation. I want everybody to repent. I want everybody to know Jesus. I want everybody to enter into the kingdom of God. I want everybody to have a change of heart and soul and walk with God. I think that would be the best. I am a hopeful universalist. I don't think universalism is true, but I'm hopeful that it will come to be. Yeah, no thanks on the testimonial. I'm so edgy. Happy Pride.
Also, like, you guys,
why aren't you talking about how gay I am?
you guys are late. It's the 22nd.
Yeah.
That's another sign it's dying, is nobody did this until the 22nd.
Nobody did. We didn't get single. We used to, last year we got like 100 of them. Now we just got one person who's like committed to it. Big John Steele, you should be the one bringing the coffee for Abby, not the other way around. Nope. Why is that the case? We have a system in our household, and it works. I say jump, she says how high. Coins for the Griff song, I got you. I'm like a jukebox. You throw me a $2
Toss a coin
please.
to your grifter. Big John needs to pay his bills. Big John needs to pay his bills. Oh, toss a coin to your grifter. Big John needs to pay his bills. When a humble sage graced a common thread, he was forced to engage with the brain cell dead. He sat down.
Streams like this are effing pointless. I don't know why you're wasting your time here. Well,
once they came after him with their
it's a good question. I actually think that's a great question. Okay. Let's put this into perspective. If atheism is true, nothing has a point. Everything is pointless. So you might as well just do the things that you want to do. And so we want to do this, so here we are. Ba-da-ba. If Christianity is true, then this is the most purposeful thing that we can do, because we're drawing people into knowing Jesus and knowing the truth. So if we're just throwing the die here, either way, it's not pointless, actually. Yeah. Atheism is true. We're just doing it for the lulz, and it's a good time. If Christianity is true, it actually has greater purpose and greater meaning. If Islam is true, then eventually, hopefully, Allah will show me the truth so I can reject him anyways. All right, hold on. We got to guess. Up your dongle, John. You've done 4K last time. That's called greed, my friend. Hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you?
I'm 35.
All right, man. Can you convince me to stop worshiping Jesus?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, one of the things that the Christians go by, they said, that the Gospels, we have the authors and the people, the disciples that were with Jesus. First of all, none of them were with Jesus, and the ones that supposedly wrote the Bible, they never saw Jesus. And they had heard stories, and you know what happens with stories, they get passed around and then they get changed, so they decided to write it down. These are the accounts, so it's all made up from that point of view, and it's definitely not what Jesus said, and what Jesus actually said was actually lost. And what you guys have is some versions of what Jesus presumed in the Bible or said, which could be the red letters, this and that, and there. So therefore, Islam is had to come, and when Islam came,
Oh,
it
stop.
came with
No. Stop. We're going too far. You need to prove everything that you just said.
sure. Tell me.
Tell you what. You're making the argument. You got to prove everything you just said. You got to
I just
substantiate
told
all your
you.
claims.
I just told you, my friend, for the second or the third time, because I've been on here before, and that show me where Jesus says in the Bible that he's God and to worship him.
What does
Show
that
me
have to do with anything with your argument? Your whole argument is you don't know the authors and they're not reliable,
Yeah,
and
of
it's all
course they're
made up.
not.
So
James
what
1.
difference does
James
it?
1.
Hold on. What difference does it make if Jesus says, "I am God, worship me" in the Bible? Because you think it's all unreliable, made up, anyways.
Exactly.
I could
I
show
just
you
told you
50
to
verses that
convince
said
you to
that, and you
stop
wouldn't change your
worshiping
mind, would
Jesus.
it?
That's enough reason for you to start worshiping Jesus.
Why?
But you are so blindsided and you have such hatred for Islam that even if God were to show you the truth, and
Alhamdulillah.
if it happens with Islam, you would not accept it because you're so arrogant and self-infatuated with yourself that you will not see the truth, because even Jesus would disown you from that point of view.
I'm not
Yeah,
infatuated with
dude.
myself. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
Just because he's
you're the
handsome
perfect.
doesn't mean he loves himself.
Yeah, he's probably handsome to you, sweetheart, not to no one else.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, and it's good that you think
Listen.
like that
Say
because
what you
that's
will
what
about me
people
as a
marry.
person. I'm god awful in a lot of ways,
Tell
but
her,
I am
just tell her
objectively
to
handsome.
just tell her to make a
Objectively.
sandwich and be quiet, bro. We can
Objectively
talk.
handsome. I'm symmetrical. I got that classical
nose.
white boy. Yeah, my nose is jacked up.
Listen,
That's for sure.
you need to go a little bit
I
more
got a
beard
gray
like Jesus
haircut.
would. Okay,
Got a gray haircut. I'm gonna shave today.
start to
Actually,
look more like
let's do a
Jesus.
poll,
Start
Abby.
to look
Actually,
more
Abby,
like
can you
Jesus.
do a poll on whether or not I'm
Grow the
handsome?
beard.
Yes.
Grow the
Yeah, do a
beard.
poll.
Grow the beard, dude. Look like Jesus more.
What did Jesus look like?
Yeah, he had a longer beard than yours for
How
sure.
do you know?
How do you know?
What you mean? How do you know?
How do you know?
Because back then, old men had beards.
Prove it.
Okay, you don't prove it.
What do you mean?
You prove me that he didn't have. You prove it to me that he looked like you.
That is your entire
Prove to me.
argument.
Prove to me that he didn't look
Supposedly,
like me.
the
And we're just
way
gonna
the
do that.
Christian. Okay, I can prove it to you easily based upon your, European version of Jesus for now.
But you
Okay,
said
we
that's
don't
not
get to
trustworthy
the
sources.
exactly. But I'm
So then why are
telling
you using
to
that
do it.
source to prove to me that Jesus had a beard if it's not a trustworthy source? That doesn't make any sense. Why would you
I
use
just
sources that
told
you know
you
are
back
false to
then.
try to prove something to somebody?
Back then.
That's very
Sir,
Islamic of you.
Back then, people had beards. Okay.
Okay, prove
So
it.
that was a more natural thing. So the chances of Jesus having beard are very high.
So here's the thing.
Okay?
If back then, hold on, I'll ask you a quick question. If back then people had beards, why is it that when we look at the statues of like Caesar, he has no beard?
Caesar has no religious context to
You
this.
said back then. You didn't tie it to a religion. You just said back then.
Well, Caesar could be gay. You never know.
What?
So beards are directly correlated to like homosexuality?
What is that?
Yeah, actually, a lot of the fashion designers, if you were to look into the fashion world, they actually came up with it. Even men in America, they used to have beards. That was a manly thing to do. You
For
have a
my
beard.
favorite grifter,
That was a
Nappy.
man.
John, can
And
you show us what
women
Abby used
always
to take notes and how you
women
organize them?
always
Keep
women
stunting on these
always
bozos.
admire
It's
that.
notion.
So therefore, they came and they started to have the men shave their beard and advertisements and all of that, and therefore men start to look like women, and therefore You're pretty close to it, but you confuse yourself.
can you substantiate any of your claims, or you just like to
No.
make things up?
But can you substantiate any of your claim that Jesus?
I haven't made a
we should
single
worship
claim.
Jesus? Go ahead. You
I
have it
haven't
right
made
up
a
there.
single claim. What are you talking about?
Listen, why do you worship Jesus? Tell me.
Kicks and giggles.
Yeah, exactly.
Why
Because
am I wrong to?
you're not even true to your own religion. You pretend.
But it's all made
And
up
your wife-
anyways, and it comes from
and your
unreliable
wife-
sources. So technically, there is
Your
no
wife
religion.
knows that too. Your wife knows that too. That's why she giggles and supports you, because you guys are like here making fools of the modern Christians just to
No.
grab some money and fame,
I giggle
and that's
'cause
lame.
you're dumb.
And it's a shame,
According to what?
bro. You should be embarrassed, bro. Seriously.
Why? I don't feel
Caesar has no
embarrassed.
religious
The
context,
fact that you're
except
not.
that people were literally killed for not acknowledging the Caesars as semi-divine or paying tribute to the Roman pantheon.
Good point. Good point. So are you going to back up anything you've said today, or you're just here to
I
yap?
already told you, bro.
Told me what?
You
I
did. You
don't know
told us
what
a
you
bunch
want
of
me to back up.
things.
A bunch of nonsense.
We
Exactly.
just want to know
I mean, are you listening?
what your proof is.
I'm
So
listening.
you
All
saying
right.
Christ did not have a beard, huh?
I'm
So
listening.
you
All
saying
right.
Christ did not
Focus.
have a beard?
He didn't say.
How do you know what he had?
I'm just letting you know
Letting me know what?
that he had a beard.
How do you know?
Guess we're gonna find out when we see him in heaven.
Oh, there it is. There it is. Wait until Judgment Day, and I'll prove you wrong.
He's gonna be up. He's gonna be up there. He's gonna see John.
This is the only thing
See.
you're gonna fight me over. Then why not?
That's like the
Let's-
typical. That's the
let's make
typical
this-
like
let's
most
make this bet,
pretentious
okay?
thing in the world.
Let's make this bet. I'm
Most
willing to-
pretentious
okay,
thing in the
let's-
world
let's
is just
make
to
this-
look
Are we
at somebody and
gonna make
say,
a bet
"I'm right," and we'll find out on Judgment Day when you
right.
get
That's it. That's
judged
how you gotta do
for
it.
not having a beard. You look at
Exactly,
your
so you're
beard
asking
hair.
me for
Jesus is
beard.
gonna throw you
Why
out of
can't you-
heaven because your
why
beard
can't
is
you
too
debate
small,
me?
bro. And we'll find out
can't you
on
debate
Judgment
me?
Day, bro. Sorry, what? I wasn't listening to you.
He's gonna disown you on Judgment Day. I hope you know that.
Because you don't have a beard,
You're
bro.
a fake- No, because you're a fake Christian. You pretend you're a pole worshiper. You guys don't worship Jesus, or you guys don't believe in Jesus. You pretend. Anything Jesus said, you guys eat pork. You guys, come on, man. Not all of the Christians, but majority of the ones, they eat pork.
It's always
and
pork.
they
It's
don't
always
pray
pork.
Like Jesus.
Oh,
They
do you
don't
eat shellfish?
What about wine?
Do you eat shellfish?
You believe that God?
Do you
would,
eat shellfish?
Drink wine and encourage his
Dog,
followers to drink
dog,
wine.
you're just yapping. You're not
which
even
is to
listening.
get
Do you eat
intoxicated?
shellfish?
Come on, bro. What was
Do-
his first miracle? Tell me.
Do you eat shellfish?
I don't like any type of fish, bro.
Are you allowed to eat shellfish?
We are allowed to not bottom. What you call it? Bottom
You
feeders.
are
No.
allowed to eat shellfish in Islam. It's perfectly fine. Stop dancing around the question and be incredibly
I
dishonest.
Don't like fish, dude.
Doesn't matter if you like it. You're allowed to eat it, right? You know what Jesus was not allowed to
I
eat? He
don't
wasn't allowed to
like
eat
fish.
shellfish according to the Mosaic law.
Okay.
But it's pork
Well,
with
the
you
law
guys.
according
It's
to
pork.
you
What's
changed, right?
what's wrong with
According-
pork? What's wrong with pork? What's the big deal
Actually,
with pork?
scientists are proving. Scientists are telling
Which
me
science
that
test?
pork
Name a
is the
scientist.
most-
Name one
My man,
scientist.
just look it up. Why don't you share your screen and type this question in? How about that? Let's see.
Name a
how honest you
scientist.
are.
He hasn't read
Go
a single
ahead.
thing. Name a scientist.
Go ahead, my man. Even if I name it, you're not gonna believe nothing. Go type it and show your.
I'm not typing
show
in
your
anything.
viewers.
I'm not doing your job for
Show
you.
your viewers, because you know what you're gonna find. You know it's bad.
I
for
know.
you.
I know. I'm
It's
gonna
like-
find. If you don't Google it, it's because I'm right. That's it. Yeah. Just
Go.
cite a
Go
source.
find out yourself.
No.
Go find it.
No,
Go
pork
share
is
your screen
delicious.
and show it to your people.
Pork
How
is
about you
delicious.
come up with? You said you've been up here multiple times. You must know that we would like sources.
Yeah.
Listen, you guys, sources. And actually, you guys don't like sources, because if you actually did, you would actually not believe in Jesus as God.
That's yeah. If
I
you
got
actually believe, if you
If you
actually
have
were
no
honest,
sources.
you would believe what I believe.
Proof that
All
Jesus
right.
was
Can you
God. Show
explain?
me
Can
the
you explain
sources.
that? Go ahead and
Let's
explain
get to
that.
let's
Wait. Sorry. What? I think you went through a tunnel.
Oh,
What happened? I don't know what happened.
no.
Went through a tunnel or something.
Anyway, poll was 82% that you are handsome.
82% of people think I'm handsome. That's pretty good. That's like a B plus. The guest might not have a beard himself after his mandatory journey through the hell his belief requires. Ugh. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Is this person going to connect?
Somebody said it's
Get outta here.
100%.
Get outta here.
But we wanted to humble you.
It was what?
It was 100%, but we wanted to humble you.
You can't humble me. I own a mirror. I know the truth. I know the truth. I'm handsome. I got jacked up teeth and a crooked nose. My head's a little too small for my body. I know the truth. I know the truth about me. My legs are incredibly small. It looks like somebody took two sticks and stuck it in a pear. I got no butt. I got zero butt. You could fit both my butt cheeks in half your hand. I know the truth about me. Hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you?
Yeah, 25.
All right, man. Can you convince me to stop worshiping Jesus?
Yeah, so are you a Trinitarian, sir?
Yep.
Yeah, so just to be clear, how do you respond to the logical problem of the Trinity, sir?
Okay, Trinity's false. Why should I stop worshiping Jesus?
So you grant that Trinity's false, but you are a Trinitarian?
Yeah, Trinity's false. You've convinced me. Why should I stop worshiping
The
Jesus?
Trinity's false, but you are a Trinitarian. Okay, that's a nice blunder. So yeah, how does it feel knowing that other men fucked your wife raw, John? Does it make you jealous? They put their dick inside of her and made her moan raw.
Man.
Such an edgy guy. Wow.
Such a big man.
Wait, where is it?
No backbone. Yeah. Yeah.
Shaking in her boots.
You know why he switched up like that? Because they don't know what to do when you don't talk about the Trinity. For inverted butts, I feel your pain. It's literally a pain. Like in your back. And like how you say it's like awful. Not having a butt. It's just the worst. Hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you? Can't hear you when you're out of the app, bro.
Sorry. Now?
Yeah, I can hear you, man.
Hello?
Yeah, how old are you?
Okay. I'm in my late 30s and I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I'm good, man. All right, can you convince me to stop worshiping Jesus?
Well, only God can change the heart, but I will say is if you do believe in God, he said not to worship any human. That's it. What do you say about that?
There's no argument there.
But you should not worship a human?
In what context? In what way? In what sense? What's the verse?
The first commandment.
It never says that in the first commandment.
Can you recite it to me? I'm not an expert.
The first commandment is that you shall love the Lord thy God alone, and you shall have no other gods before him.
Okay, so that could still refer to a human, and you have no problem with that.
Are we going to have a day? Is it going to be a day, ladies and gentlemen? Are we going to have a day?
I'm asking genuine questions.
Is the shorts open, Abby?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Do you want to test the link? Well, we're not here to answer your 21 questions. If you have questions about Christianity,
Okay.
I highly recommend that you go to your local parish, church, pastor, and ask them. That's what their job is.
Okay, so you just want to be convinced. Okay, well then, that's it. That's all I got. I mean, I can't change. I can't change who you worship. Yeah. Okay.
I mean,
You have a good day.
God bless.
Likewise.
Is it working?
I'm in.
You're in? Oh, there you are. Hello. Okay, well, it works. I also forgot to do the Q. Q is the weirdest spelling word in the world.
It is.
It's so
There's
awkward.
this guy on TikTok that I really like. He does videos. I think I might have shown you, where it's like letters getting offended when they hear about things, and one was about Q, and it's like the letter Q being all offended because they got U and E to join in, and they both got 2 spots, and it only got 1, but you only say Q. It was funny.
Yeah, it's a gross word. Hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you?
Yeah, I'm in my 30s. I'm good. How about you?
Good, man. Can you convince me to stop worshiping Jesus?
Well, Jesus himself told you in the Bible, the only true God is the Father. So, I mean, is Jesus a father?
Yeah, just the argument, bro. Not 21 million questions.
Yeah. Right. So I don't know. I mean, I'm telling you, Jesus himself says, "Don't worship the Father. Only true God is the Father." That's more than convention. It's a statement by Jesus himself.
Okay, I'm not convinced.
Well, so let me ask you this. Is that okay? I guess not a question about Jesus or Christianity. Let me ask you this.
The thing is, here's the thing. Christians in the chat, how many times have you guys heard John 17:3?
But here's the thing.
Hold on,
just somebody told you the truth.
Just 1 second, please. Just 1 second, please. Just 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to show you, right? And because you actually do seem like a nice guy, and I'm not trying to come down on you. Okay, 1 trillion times. It's like the starter kick. Right. Yeah, it's starter kick argument. And I have another chat that's over on YT. It says bazillion, many, yes, all the time, everyone, hundreds, 175 quadrillion, a billion, a million, too many times, all the time, plenty times from Muslims, millionth time, 50. We just have everybody saying yes. Okay, now Christians, how many of you have remotely had your faith shaken by John 17:3?
John, you talking to me? You talking to your?
No, I'm talking to the chat.
You're talking
to the chat. Yeah.
So you come down then?
Zero. No. I'm going to talk to you. Zero. I'm not making a point strictly to you. Look at the chat.
Okay.
Nope. All never. Nope. Never.
They're Christians, of course. They're going to say whatever you say.
Of course. Yeah. No. They're not going to say whatever I say. Trust me. They come down to me all the time. I get 1,000,001 messages from Christians on how awful I am as a Christian all the time. Now,
I don't think you're awful.
I'm not. You're not a Christian. So, my point to you is that I guarantee you've had Christians explain the John 17:3 to you as if you were somebody who was willing to learn. Yeah.
You're right, but here's the issue with that.
Well, hold on. Let me finish my whole point. I did a whole thing, right, to set up this whole point. It's not an effective argument against Christians. It's not going to shake our faith. It's not going to turn us. The only thing John 17:3 does is make Muslims feel okay with being Muslim. That's all it does. You guys need to abandon this argument.
Are you done? So I can speak? I don't want to interrupt you.
Yeah.
Sorry, can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Somebody called me, that's why I kind of interrupted. Okay, so when you said that, I'm pretty sure you got explained by a lot of Christians about the verse chapter 17, verses 3, right?
Yep.
You're right, absolutely right. They did, a lot of people did explain it, but here's the issue with that. When people explain it, every single Christian I spoke with explain it differently.
Sure.
Explain it differently, okay? So they have their own interpretation of that verse. Now, obviously, you will have your own interpretation of the verse, and maybe I don't want you to answer it. But the thing is, the verse still exists, okay? And that's why it's confusing to a lot of Muslims. That's why Muslims always ask that question, because your core belief is that Jesus is God. So if your core belief that Jesus is God, then that verse contradicts the whole argument about that core belief, okay? Now, you as a Christian,
that's so I just want to interject there. You just proved my point. I said it's only convincing to the Muslims.
Right. Yeah. So here's the thing, okay, John. Before I even get to what Christianity or Islam or Judaism or whatever, you as John, you as a person, if somebody brought you a truth, is there a room for you? Well, not a room. Is there a chance that you might leave that religion if you were shown evidence? Like Christianity, you're a Christian, I'm assuming, right?
Depends on what the truth is.
No, I'm saying I just want to see if you have an open mind, or you're just, that's it, you're convinced that. Well, I'm being honest. But the question.
Here's the thing. Let's say I don't have an open mind. If you still bring a solid and good argument, you're just going to show them an irrational person.
You said rational or irrational?
Irrational. Because if I reject a good deduction or I reject a good induction, it shows that I'm just living irrationally and in absurdity.
No, not necessarily, right? Maybe because you're lost. Maybe because you misunderstood some verses. It's possibly, right?
That's fine, but I'm still living in absurdity.
Is there, John? Is there a chance that I may not have the truth which is I'm a Muslim, right? Is there a chance that I might not have the truth? According to you, is there a chance?
Is there a chance? Well, it depends.
That I may not have the truth. Like that I'm not believing the right God. Is there a chance?
No, I don't think you're believing the right God.
Right. So you think that there's a chance that I may not believe the right God.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if I tell you the same thing, that I think there's a chance that you might not believe the same God, and I can prove evidence of that, is that possible? That's what I'm asking you, because then I can know how to move forward with this.
What I'm saying is what I'm saying, asking somebody if they have an open mind is a silly argument. Have you ever asked somebody if they had an open mind and they told you no, I don't?
But you know what I mean by that, John.
Yeah, but have you ever had that happen? Everybody thinks they have an open mind.
You know what open mind? Well, open mind means that you're gonna use sound reasonings. You're gonna use logic. You're gonna try to use common sense.
Everybody thinks they have an open mind.
That understand, and I agree with you.
Yeah. So why are you asking me that?
Open mind means like you're open to evidence. You're open to lecture. You're open to statements that's backed by, you know.
Oh my God, chat.
Like
chat
I said,
do any of you in the chat?
Sense,
do any of you in the chat have a closed mind and are not open to information and evidence?
John, okay, you have an open mind. That's my whole point. If you have an open mind, is there
what I'm saying is it's a silly question.
Leave? Okay, no problem.
Yeah.
But John, would you leave then? Would you leave your religion? I'm not saying you do leave. I'm saying, would you leave your religion
if I was shown unequivocally that it was false? Yeah, I would leave it.
Okay. And that's, you see, now I know you're a rational person, like, you know, so that I can move forward with talking to you now. So if I'm showing you a verse, okay, right, that's been explained differently by different Christians about Jesus saying the only true God is the Father. Now, by the only, people explain it differently, right? Only means this, and then they move on, read you the other verse. Would you think that Jesus would say in the Bible that I am God, worship me, right? You would think that if this is a core belief of your religion, that Jesus himself would say that.
That's an argument for Muslims,
right? When you say Muslims always ask that question,
do you know what an argument of silence is?
That it's just an argument for there's no response to? Is that what you're saying?
No, an argument of silence is like if you don't hear somebody say something or do something or see something, that's evidence towards your case. That's not how it works, because there's 1,000,001 reasons why there's something could be missing or absent on what you would expect to see. Arguments of silence can work in certain very specific scenarios, but not in this one.
Right, but John, the truth still stands, right? Because as a Muslim or as a Jew or as anybody will still have the same argument. How can your religion have a belief of Jesus being God when there's no statement in the Bible that Jesus saying himself that he is God? That's the whole point.
Notice how he said saying himself, right? The Bible does say he's God.
He says, I am God, like the word G-O-D?
No.
Right.
No, there's different things. You're giving two categories. Are you saying that the Bible does not say he is God at all, or are you just saying Jesus doesn't say it out of his mouth?
No, Jesus out of his mouth does not say that I am God. That's what I'm saying.
Does the Bible?
The Bible would not believe that's the right word of God because God allowed contradictions.
Not the question I asked you. Does the Bible say he's God?
It probably does, yeah.
Okay.
But does it mean that it's all right? It's a truth because God allowed contradictions. How would I know if I can take that as literate verse that being
right? So here's my question for you. Here's my question for you for the methodology. Why is it that you trust the red word and not the black word?
No, what I'm saying is it's not credible for me to take. So there's missing information.
Why do you trust the red word and not the black word? Because clearly you trust the red word if you want Jesus to say it himself.
But Jesus himself, okay. Again, your Bible. Again, you have to understand what I'm saying, John. I think you're a rational person. I think you're not a dumb person. Okay, so you're trying to talk to a Muslim right now, and then you try to twist it as though we're not understanding. I'm not
twisting anything. I'm asking you a direct question.
Okay.
You want to hear Jesus.
You're
dodging my question. You say I need to hear in the Bible Jesus say, "I am God, worship me," which means you trust the red letter of the Bible, right?
It's not that I trust it. I know it's not there for me. If it was there,
okay, so
there's no contradictions.
Why are you asking me to show Jesus saying it if you don't trust it?
Because I'm showing you that even your own book.
My own book says Jesus is God.
Okay, show me where it says Jesus is God. Go ahead, and I will.
John 1:1. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God.
And the Word
John 1:14. The Word became flesh. Philippians 1. Jesus, who existed in the form of God, did not seek something to grasp, therefore he lessened himself, becoming a servant, being found in the form of flesh. Hebrews 1, the Father calls Jesus God, straight up, Hebrews 1:8. Then you go to Titus 2, it says, our Lord and God, Jesus Christ. Right? Then we have Paul who calls him God. So many times throughout the scripture, Jesus is directly called God.
Okay. Read the verse where the Father said that Jesus is God.
Why?
For me, please, the Hebrew, the one you mentioned. Because you just mentioned, you made a statement about Hebrew 1, you said?
Mm-hmm. Why are we going strictly to Hebrew 1s, not the other ones?
You said, I thought you made that statement. I could have misheard you then.
Yeah, but why are we going Hebrews 1? I'm not going to read it right now unless you give me a reason why to do it.
Because you said the Father said that Jesus is God. Yeah. So I want to actually see that. I mean, that might probably change a little bit of an argument.
You don't trust Paul.
Your book at least has. I don't. It's not that I trust or don't trust Paul. I'm just saying, show me the verse so I can see
what difference is it going to make. I'm going to show you the verse in Hebrews 1. You're going to say I don't trust the source, right? Or I don't trust Paul. Or you're even going to bring up the fact that we don't know the author of Hebrews, and you're going to throw it out.
So you know where I'm going with it. I told you you're a smart man. So John, do you see a problem with that?
No, you don't understand the objection that I just brought up to you. The fact you're just skating over it. Hold on 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
Caller, your entire argument is a word concept fallacy. Jesus in many places in all 4 Gospels and in his encounters with Paul and John makes divine claims. He claims the honors, attributes, names, deeds, and authority of YHWH.
Amen. So my objection is that you're saying, show me where it says Jesus is God, but the problem is you don't trust the source at all. So if I brought you a source that just says, hey, this Jesus is God, you're just going to say I don't trust the source, which is what you just did. So you just proved my point.
Okay. That's a fair point, John. Yeah. That's a fair point. All right. Fair point. I can't argue with that. But okay, if I'm telling you that your Bible does not have a biblical statement from Jesus saying that he's God, and even with that, okay, with that,
he does in Revelation, but you don't trust Revelation.
Jesus himself says, "I am God."
He says, "I am the Alpha, the Omega, the beginning and the
end."
Okay,
it doesn't say he has God again.
Yeah,
okay,
the first and last. But hold on. In the Quran, who's the first? In the Quran, who's the first and last?
God, Allah.
Okay, so when Jesus says he's the first and the last, he's not claiming to be God.
Okay, if I tell you I'm first and last, what does that mean? I
say you're claiming to be God.
Hold on. You know what? You're very right, John. Isn't there someone in the Bible? I forgot the name. I can pull the name for you right now and give you some evidence where it says, yes, thank you. Is it where he's also the Alpha and Omega? He was.
No, he's never called the first and the last.
He will never die, whatever. Okay.
No, it says that he doesn't have his lineage.
But John, people can claim him as God if nobody understands if nobody understands the religion, right? They can claim him that he's God because he's got the attributes of God, where he pre-existed before human being.
Melchizedek doesn't do anything that's godlike.
He does not die. He does not die, though, does he?
Yes, he does.
Where does it say that he dies in the Bible?
So your argument is this: if the Bible doesn't clearly state that they died, they lived.
Well, can I pull you a verse?
So I could tell you this. It says only two people. It says only 2 people ascended to heaven.
I'm sorry.
In the scripture, it says only 2 people ascended to heaven. So the conclusion that'd be Enoch and Elijah.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to argue that the Bible is going to tell me Melchizedek has lived forever? He's still alive right now, kicking around. I can go find him somewhere.
No, I'm going to give you evidence, okay, from the Bible. I'm going to read you a verse, and you tell me what you think about that verse. Is that fair?
Sure.
Okay, can you give me a second so I have to exit my phone and go to Google real quick. Is that okay?
Mm-hmm.
Hold the verse up?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How you spell Melchizedek again, John? How you spell it?
M-Elzedek.
Okay, all right, 1 second. Let me go pull it up real quick for you.
He seems like a nice guy, though. So far, we'll see. Abby's got her suspicions. You know what's great? I found an app that turns every website into dark mode, and now I don't turn into a lighthouse when I open up Bible Hub. Because that was the worst. I'd open up Bible Hub and I just because it was a white screen. So then the white screen would shine on me, and I just woof, and then I'd be calling ships on the shore. Calling ships on the shore, man. What's the app? It's an extension called Dark Reader. Dark Reader is the extension. It's a Google Chrome extension. He's not Googling an argument. He's Googling a verse. And give grace where grace is due, right? We don't all have verses off the top of our heads. Linux and Brave. I stopped using Brave simply because every time I use something like a Google app, it always pushes me to the Google Chrome, and I just got tired of saying no. And so I fell to the peer pressure, and now I'm using Google Chrome, and it's fine. It's fine. I know I'm being tracked. Everything's being tracked, and it's not private, but whatever. They can watch me look at the same Amazon cart I look at every week. And like, oh, do I want to buy this? I can't afford it. Oh, I want to buy this. I can't afford it. Although Prime deal's coming up in 2 days. I'm excited for that. That's when we're gonna get that new graphics card. All right, bro.
All right, I'm back.
All right, what verse is it?
It's Hebrew 7:3.
Hebrew 7:3. The same book that literally calls Jesus God.
Right, which is weird, right? Because Jesus is God, and then Hebrew,
Okay.
Hebrew. I was like, yeah, read it.
Okay, so Hebrews 7:3. Without father, without mother, without genealogy, having neither beginning of days nor end of life, but made like the Son of God, he remains a priest perpetually.
There you go. So, what do you understand about that verse?
Well, hold on, let's go get the context. For this Melchizedek, king of Salem, priest of the Most High God, who met Abraham and was returning from the slaughter of the kings and blessed him, to whom also Abraham appointed a tenth of all the spoils and first of all the translations name, king of the righteous, and also king of Salem, which is king of peace, without father, without mother, without genealogy, having neither beginning of days nor end of life, but made like the Son of God. He remains a priest perpetually. Now observe how great this man, whom is Abraham, the patriarch, gave a tenth of his choicest spoils, and his deed son of Levi received the priest office as a commandment. So just on the surface level, it seems it's talking about the priest office.
They just said, but made like the Son of God, John. Come on. The Son of God. So he doesn't have, okay, right, beginning of days nor end of life, okay? He does not have a mother nor a father, all right? Jesus, I mean, we're not even worried about Jesus having a mother.
Says
we're just saying that he doesn't even have.
It doesn't say.
So he's got more. He's got.
Hold on.
Sorry,
you're cherry picking certain parts, right? So without mother and father, without genealogy. What does that mean?
That means no family lineage.
Yeah, no lineage.
Which means like God. Yeah, it just means like pretty much what God. God doesn't have a lineage.
It's not saying he was made from the dirt. It says that he doesn't have a lineage.
So you're saying God's made from dirt? I'm not sure. I'm not following with you right now.
It's not saying Melchizedek is made from dirt, right? He's not made out of the ground.
I never said that.
Out of nothing. It's saying he doesn't have a lineage. I never said that. Yeah.
Right. I never said he made out of dirt.
So we're both in agreement that he has parents.
I don't see his parents in there. It says without mother, without father.
So then how did he come into existence?
Exactly. That's something you have to tell me that, because I'm reading in the verse without mother, without father, without genealogy. So you have to answer that to me. How did he come to existence?
By taking the context of without genealogy.
John, my brother, you look. I thought you were a rational person, man. I think I respect you, but you have to like. We both speak English, man. Come on.
Yeah, I speak English without genealogy.
I'll tell you what, man. All right.
What does that mean?
If this without genealogy, without lineage, I just said that.
Without a lineage,
which means
yeah. Which means what?
I said that. Which means he has no mother, father, without any family members in the past. He has nobody.
So hold on. So your conclusion?
He has no grandfathers. He has grand. He has.
Sorry.
I'm answering the question.
So your conclusion when reading this, hold on, just to be clear, you're reading Hebrews 1, and you read about Melchizedek, and when we go back and read about Melchizedek, he's just an earthly priest, right? He doesn't perform any miracles, he doesn't do anything, he has no divine in any aspects, and we get to Paul talking about Melchizedek, and he says, without father and without genealogy, without father, without mother, without genealogy, your conclusion, I just want to be clear, your conclusion is he sprang from the earth just randomly?
So you're saying, I mean, you're
No,
saying
just
if he
answer the
does
question,
miracles,
please.
he is God?
Just
Is that what
answer
you're
the
saying?
question,
Like,
please.
and that's the question I'm asking you. I don't know. I don't know what, I mean, why is that verse saying that about him?
No.
Because that
If
shows
you're
me
like,
he's got more.
just imagine
Yeah, go
you're
ahead.
reading a book, right? And you're not trying to argue against Christianity. You read in the beginning
Okay,
of the
fair
book, you
enough.
have this Melchizedek person, right? He's interacting with Abraham. He puts a blessing on him. He's not doing anything divine. He's not doing anything crazy. He's just a normal guy, right? For all intents and purposes, when you're reading Genesis, because there's only like one verse where we find him, and it's in Genesis, right? Maybe there's two actually. And then we get all the way to
There's a
Hebrews,
couple,
where
actually.
Paul's talking about it. And Paul's talking about Melchizedek, and he says, without father, without mother, without genealogy. And your conclusion is that he just sprang into existence?
If because you asked me if I read that verse as not Christian, as it not being the Bible, right? Just read that verse.
You're just reading a book. Let's
somebody
pretend
who's
it's Lord of
atheist.
the Rings. It's not
I'm
even
gonna
a
say I'm
holy
atheist,
book.
right? Right. If I'm reading that verse, Bub, I'm gonna say, okay, well, how did he come to existence? I'm gonna ask that question to myself. Okay, how did he come to existence? Who created him? Will that be a fair question to ask?
No, it's
As
just
an
showing that
atheist?
you're just arguing for the sake of arguing.
So
You're
how would you ask? If you're atheist, how would you?
I'm just going to conclude that he didn't have a recorded genealogy.
Right. So without mother, without father, no genealogy. Okay, what about the next verse after that, where it says having neither beginning of days nor end of life? Would you like? What would you say for that?
Yeah,
statement?
that's talking about the priestly
that
office.
proves that he has. It says no beginning of days nor end of life, but made like the Son of God.
Yeah.
Okay, so based on this,
there's a big word there, like that's a big word.
The Son.
Yeah.
Right. Just like the big word where the Son said that the Father is the only true God. Like, if you pick certain words to fit your narrative, but when we say
so you think this is saying Melchizedek is God?
I'm saying that he's got more the nature of God than Jesus himself. That's what I'm saying.
So when did Melchizedek forgive
Jesus,
sins?
when Jesus...
No. I want you to substantiate that claim.
Miracles,
I want to substantiate that claim. You said Melchizedek has more of a nature of God than Jesus himself. Where did Melchizedek forgive sins?
It doesn't say that in the verse, maybe.
Okay, when did Melchizedek walk on water?
I can forgive sins.
When did Melchizedek control the storm?
Well, that's the will of God, as Jesus said.
When did Melchizedek heal the blind?
By the will of God. Jesus said himself.
I didn't ask if it was by the will of God. You said he has more attributes of God than Jesus, right? So are these attributes of God?
They are attributes of God.
Okay, great. So when did he do these things?
But that doesn't mean Jesus is God, because there's
I didn't say it meant Jesus is God. I'm refuting your claim. Pay attention. There's a claim that you gave. Melchizedek, right, has more attributes of God than Jesus. That's what you said.
I'm saying based on this statement right here. I'm not saying these. I'm saying he's saying. I didn't say attribute. I said nature. I said just based on the statement right there, it shows me that he's got more nature of God than Jesus himself. That's what I said, John. Okay, and then you went on and telling me about how Jesus walked on water.
So just to be clear, you think this? You think?
Let me finish my statement, John.
No, this is so stupid, man. You're saying here right now, without father, without. Hold on, just real quick. You're saying without father, without mother, genealogy, having neither beginning days or end of life, but made like the Son of God, he remains a priest perpetually.
Right.
Has more Christology than everything about Jesus.
I'm not saying everything, okay, because there's some Bible.
You literally just said that.
I said just based on this statement right here. I'm saying
this statement here has a higher Christology than everything about Jesus.
Because you're using that Jesus healed the sick and walked on water. Because I'm using your argument. You're using that. So based on that, no, it does not.
That's not my argument. That's refuting your argument. Me refuting your argument is not making an argument. You're arguing that this has a higher Christology than anything ever said about Jesus. This verse taken in isolation.
Based on based on nature, John. Not based on miracles. Based on nature, John. That's what I'm saying to you.
Based on nature.
Based on nature. Okay. Yes, based on nature.
Okay.
Hold on. Let me finish, John.
Based on nature. No, that's fine. Based on nature.
Let me finish my statement. John, let me finish my statement. That's not fair, dude. Like, I think you're a nice guy, so why are you trying to jump?
You said based on nature. You said that's the highest Christology based on nature and ontology, right?
You know, it's your panel. I'll let you.
Yeah, you're
I'll let you do it.
Okay. Have this attitude in yourselves, which is also in Christ Jesus, who already exists in the form of God.
I'm sorry. See that? I can't see that.
You said that's got a higher Christology in ontology, ontological aspects.
Nature.
A nature. Yeah. Have this attitude in yourselves, which was also in Christ Jesus, who already existed in the form of God.
Melchizedek say, I am like God, worship me?
I can't hear you because something interrupted you. Like there's something in the background.
Hold on. He said, bro, where does Melchizedek say, I am like God, worship me? I want red letters. These black letters won't too. That's funny. All right. So you're no, he's making a joke, man, based off your argumentation.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So again, you said that's that taken in isolation. So I can take a verse in isolation as well. Right? You said it's got a higher Christology in an ontological aspect. This straight up says, just taken in isolation, you could argue around it, but have this attitude in yourselves, which is also in Christ Jesus, who has already existed in the form of God. You think that doesn't have a high ontology saying Jesus is God?
That verse, maybe it could. I mean, that does not say that Jesus is God.
It's the same. Like. It's the same author.
But do you understand my point? So if you have Melchizedek, what do you think of him then? What do you think of Melchizedek, John?
So you retract your point where you say that verse has a high Christology.
I won't. Fine, John. Let's just say Jesus is God. Okay, that's fine. Let's give you that. All right. You ready for this?
I'm ready.
All right. So that means you have now what? 4 gods because Melchizedek is considered. Will that be God? Come on, bro. Like, come on. Okay, fine. What would you take on Melchizedek then? What was your opinion on him? Like, what is
I already gave you my answer. Melchizedek was a priest. God? He wasn't even a prophet.
So a priest that doesn't have a beginning of day nor the end of life, and that he has no genealogy, and that he's like the son of God.
You're really just not going to listen to any answer I gave, eh? You're just.
I did.
Okay.
Because you told me, John, you told me earlier that Jesus made miracles, which I agree with you. He walked on water, blah blah.
You're completely. Hold on.
Can you finish my statement, John? Why are you always interrupting me?
I'm interrupting you because
let me finish my statement.
I'm going to explain why I'm interrupting you because you're doing red herrings all the time. The specific thing that we're arguing is that the ontological nature of God is more prevalent in the Hebrews verse about Melchizedek than it is in any other verse about Jesus. Now you're going to this whole thing about the miracles. That was the thing that we're arguing. Are you finished with that argument?
John, you don't even know what I'm about to say. I was going to tell you.
Okay, you know what? Hold on.
John,
hold on one second.
Let me finish my statement.
Hold on, I got a super chat.
Sins and saying Jesus is God.
I don't know what that is.
ChatGPT has spoken.
All right, so I get a super chat. They spend money and they get to talk. I know I'm a late caller, but congratulations on leaving Islam. You've committed shirk by saying the ability to forgive sins, by saying you have the ability to forgive sins, and saying Jesus is God. Sheikh GPT has spoken. All right, man. So here's what's going to happen. I'm going to let you talk because you keep accusing me of arguing. But here's the condition: if you don't actually address the topic we're talking about, I'm going to move on because you're just getting mad at me for cutting you off when I'm trying to keep you on topic. Is that fair?
I'm not mad at you, John.
Well, not
fair.
mad.
I'm not mad at you.
Not mad, but
you said now you are mad?
No, not mad, but you understand.
Oh, not mad. Okay. Yeah. I'm not trying to interrupt you either. I'm just trying to clarify some things about what you stated. Okay. I'm not really.
Is that fair?
That's fair. That's fair, John. Okay. And I'm staying on topic, but I have to finish my statement from earlier about what you stated. I'm just quoting what you stated.
I won't cut you off, but if you don't address that specific topic, I'm moving on. But go ahead, man.
This is what topic you talking about? The Melchizedek topic?
I'm not going to re-explain it to you. I'm not going to re-explain it to you.
Exactly. You know what? I'll just go. I think you just look without. With all due respect, I think you're having a hard time trying to hold this conversation.
You're just going to accuse me of running.
No, because you're not. You're saying I'm asking you to verify.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of rude. I mean, is this what Christians do? This is very rude. I'm talking, you playing music. Dude. That's. You know what? I thought you were a very respectful guy. I'm just gonna go down and take care. Okay.
All right, man. God bless. I don't think it was that rude. It wasn't that big a deal. I played it for a second and I came back.
That wasn't going to go anywhere anyway.
No.
I knew as soon as he pressed well, are you open-minded, John, that eventually you wouldn't say what he wanted and he would just say, I thought you had an open mind, which is exactly what happened.
I was actually going to be the one to join.
Sorry,
to
just
say
real quick. How old are you?
Oh, okay.
How old are you?
I'm 25.
All right, can you convince me to stop worshiping Jesus?
I cannot. I was actually wondering if I can convince you to keep loving him for 2 tacos because I love him.
There's no Christians.
Not the vibe, man.
Abby's got a good sixth sense about people.
It was the repeated use of your name. Okay, John. Okay, John. What about this, John?
Oh, he left. We're getting nobody from the shorts chat. I don't know what's going on there. I'm going to refresh and see.
Fresh said that was kind of cute. It was. You're very nice. It was very nice. No, not two tacos. I'm glad you love Jesus.
Yeah, very nice guy. No issues with you being nice, but we got to stick to the rules. Hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you?
I'm good, man. I'm 30.
All right, you just got some background noise going on. If you don't mind having a gander at that. How can I change my vote? Darn, too late. What did you vote for?
So, can you hear me now? Is it better?
Well, it's not hearing you. It's the extra sounds.
Oh, okay. Is it better? No. The background sound? No? Ah, shit.
Kind of like a
Sorry. Let me...
fan or something.
Okay. Is it better now?
Yeah, that's tolerable. We could do that. Yeah. All right, man. Can you convince me to stop worshiping Jesus?
Yeah, so I would ask you that believing in Jesus is going against the religion before Christianity. Almost all the Abrahamic faiths, they believe that there's only one God, and they didn't believe that the prophet can be a God. And after Christianity, Islam, that also believes that Jesus was a prophet. And also that even in the Bible, it says clearly multiple places that Jesus is a prophet, and he's a prophet of God.
Okay. Substantiate your claims.
Okay. I'll start with the Jesus is a prophet in Bible.
Okay. I concede that Jesus is a prophet.
Do you agree?
Yep.
Okay, so can a prophet be a god?
Yes.
What's the definition of prophet, brother, if you don't mind?
A prophet is somebody who, well, if you want to go to the classical sense, a prophet would be a leader of a church, right? They'd be one of the ones who instantiate and led the churches. And then you'd also have like a subcategory of prophet, which would be the ability to be able to speak to God and speak on God's behalf, as in, thus says the Lord.
Okay, so can a God speak on behalf of God? Like, can a God send a revelation to himself?
Yeah, it's not 1,000,001 questions, bro. You got to make an argument.
Okay, what about the contradictions in Bible?
It's completely irrelevant to what you were just saying. It's a different topic.
Okay.
Are you abandoning that topic?
No, but I just don't agree with the definition you provided for a prophet. I don't believe the prophets can be gods. So you can hold your opinion, and I can hold mine. So I don't want to waste your time on this. Rather, I would see what you have to say about the contradictions in Bible itself. About
okay, what percentage of the Bible has contradictions?
That I don't know exactly, man. Do you know?
It's very low. So let's say that 80% of the Bible is accurate. Why should I throw it out? Because there's a 10% inaccuracy.
So consistent being the word of God should not have contradictions.
That's a question. You're answering my question with a question.
No, I'm replying. The God's word cannot have a contradiction.
God's word cannot have a contradiction? Why?
Shouldn't have a contradiction, yes.
Why?
Because it's God's word. He's all-knowing. He cannot contradict himself. He knows what he said. He can be very specific on what he says.
Why? But you're just saying he can't. Why?
Because it's God.
And?
It's godly, It's just like... So you're saying that God's words can have contradictions?
You're making an argument. You got to present it to me. You're saying, hey, if I see any contradictions in anything that's remotely close to called the word of God, we can't trust it. I want you to substantiate that.
Yeah, because God does not contradict himself, I said.
How do you know?
Because it's God. He says.
Where do you get your own standard of what God is and what he can and cannot do?
According to my religion, I'm a Muslim.
Okay, why should I believe in Islam?
I shouldn't believe in Islam, but that's the same. The concept, the qualities of God goes same across all the Abrahamic faiths, I believe.
Okay, so but you said you got the standard from Islam. Why should I trust Islam?
So what's your standard of God? Educate me, please.
It's not 1,000,001 questions, man. You're trying to present an argument to show me that Christianity is false.
Yeah, but according to me, it would be substantial evidence that to believe that all the other religions, they believe Jesus as a
Okay, well
prophet.
that's you. Congratulations.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe
It's
if
not
you have a
me.
different point of, yeah, I understand, but can I ask you why is it not convincing to you? So maybe
Why?
I can see in your
Yeah, yeah.
footsteps that
Oh,
what.
sure, fine. If you're going to keep pressing on asking, so I'll answer some questions. So the reason I have no issue with minor contradictions is because there's no really big theological implications, and I allow for something called true authorship, which means that the Bible was written by humans who had interactions with God. So you're going to see things like copyright errors. You're going to see things like small differences, small understandings, different perspectives, which is what you would expect to see from an historical method. Now, here's the thing. If you're talking about the Quran, right? Oh, the Quran is absolutely perfect. I have Quranic scholars that say that there's over 20,000 copyright errors through the preservation of the Quran, which is what you would expect to see. That's not an issue for the Quran, but there
For
are
whoever
mistakes and
may
errors.
need this, no particular group in mind. According to Merriam-Webster, substantiate, to establish by proof or competent evidence.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah, so I'm asking, yeah, this is what he said. I'm basically asking you to give me a reason to believe what you believe. Now, there are things like, for example, you guys argue the Hafs and Warsh text, they have different dialects, but the thing is they are different. And some are even contradictory. For example, 3196, one says quaidal, one says quiddle, one means fought side by side, one means died side by side. Which interpretation do I take? I don't think it's an issue for Islam, only an issue if you hold to the fact that it actually verbatim came out of God's mouth.
Okay, and what do you say about? Okay, I get your definition of a prophet, that a prophet can be God, God can be a prophet. And what about the fact that in Judaism they don't agree that Jesus being the Messiah or the God?
Why should I care what Jews think?
Because if Jesus was the God, if so, he was the God of Musa, and he's the one who gave the commandments, and then it doesn't make sense after he came himself and then abolished those commandments. And
yeah, again, so why should I care what they think? Because all the Jews that became Christians, they all believed it, but they became Christians. So there's ones that didn't believe it and stayed Jews. Why should I care what they think?
No, but if you can address this, that because Jesus was God, you believe that Jesus was God. He is the God of Moses. He was the God of Abraham. And how come he said completely different, and the concept of God was completely different until the Christianity came into being, and then the concept of Trinity.
It's not completely different, because if it was completely different, then we wouldn't have a whole bunch of Jews that agreed. If we're just going to appeal to a Jewish perspective, there's a whole bunch of Jews that agreed that he was the Messiah and did follow him. There's things called Messianic Jews. They exist as well.
Yeah, but not as a whole, you understand. Like it's maybe a minority of people that converted, a minority of Christians can convert to Islam.
Who's got the majority, Christians or Jews?
Christians.
Okay, so therefore the argument is more appealing that Christianity is true than Judaism. That doesn't mean it's true. That's a terrible argument to say it's true. But using your standard, you're saying, hey, Jews don't believe it. Well, again, why are they an authority?
Converted to Christianity was the point, not accepting Christianity.
A lot of Jews did convert.
Yeah, but the basic faith didn't change, you understand? If they accepted it as a whole, they would have said, okay, look, we agree that's a continuation of the religion.
Right, so you're just saying they should all agree. Why is that? Jesus himself said they were going to reject him. There's 3 parables on it. The parable of the wedding feast is repeated 3 different times in 3 different ways, specifically addressing the fact that they wouldn't accept him and they would reject him. And because they wouldn't accept him and they would reject him, Jesus would open up his kingdom to the Gentiles.
But as a God, and Jesus told them not to believe in anyone that comes up with another God, because Jesus was God, and
Jesus
he gave
is not
the same.
Another God. He's the same God. Abby, can I have
but he wasn't
a cup of coffee, please? Say it in your mic. I can't hear you.
Can you mute my mic for my toast?
Okay, yeah, I can do that. All right, sorry, go ahead.
So I said that it's not another God. If you believe it's the same God, that how come the commandments were different? The criteria of going to heaven has changed all of a sudden. And
Criteria has never changed. Everybody went to Sheol. Everybody back then they didn't have this standard of heaven and hell, right? They went to Sheol, and Jesus in First Peter went to Sheol and gave the gospel and offered paradise to those who were waiting there. Thank you.
Wasn't the criteria to keeping the commandments to go to heaven for Jews?
No,
And the Jesus said the same thing.
that was never the thing. Because even in the Old Testament, God says, "I desire mercy more than I desire sacrifice." Right? There's the spirit of the law, and then there's the letter of the law. The whole point of the law was to line up with the spirit of it, not the letter of it. So you not keeping the law didn't necessarily talk about salvation or damnation. It talked about the spirit of it on whether you wanted to align with the Lord.
So according to Christianity right now, you don't need to believe. You only need to believe in Jesus, and that's it. That's good enough for you.
So here's the thing. This is why I don't do the question thing. Because here's what happens. I answered one of your questions, and then you asked another, and you ask another, and you ask another, and you ask another, and you keep doing. And this is what everybody does, and there's nothing on you. But this is what people do, and I want people to see this. When people try to argue through questions, they're just going to ask you 7 billion questions until eventually you get to the point where you don't know the answer to a question. They're going to say, "I got you." That's what happens.
Not with me, my brother. No, I appreciate your time, man. I appreciate you taking the time for answering the questions.
No problem.
I'm just a curious one. I like to ask questions. But thank you for having me, brother. Maybe some other one can make good argument. I'm not here to argue.
No, you're nice. You seem like a nice guy, and I'm not trying to crap on you. I'm just talking about the whole debate culture in general. But I appreciate you, man. God bless, and have a good one.
You too, man. Take care. Bye-bye.
But that is what happens, literally. It is the case, right? Few questions are fine, but they're just going to keep going to the next one, the next one, the next one, the next one, because it's like a kid, right? It's like, hey, you shouldn't draw on the wall. Why shouldn't I draw on the wall? Because it leaves marks on the wall. What's wrong with leaving marks on the wall? That wasn't the standard. You used to draw on the wall with you did with the paint. So if I saw you draw on the wall with the paint, why can't I draw on the wall? Well, paint is different. We're decorating. Well, what is the difference between decorating with a pencil and decorating with paint? That's what's going to happen, right? Well, at least that's how I argued as a kid. Hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you?
Over 25.
Alrighty. Can you convince me to stop worshiping Jesus?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you want the verses or do you want to what? Sorry.
Well, verses are irrelevant if they don't have an argument behind them.
Well, they have argument.
Okay, then do the argument, and then we can do the verses.
Okay, so if you worship the man and they don't know what happened to him, and from my
why didn't Jesus know the hour?
No, I'm not asking you that. I'm not asking you that.
Sorry, go
I'm
ahead.
not asking you that. Yeah, so that's fine. So if I know what next hour where I be, okay, it's not mean he's don't know about how. I don't fucking care about this thing. So
language.
Okay, if you don't know what is next how what happened to you, that is mean this person is crazy.
I have no idea what you just said, man.
So
also, everybody, this guy keeps spamming in the chat. Just real quick, read 1 Samuel 15:3. I can recite it from memory. Go forth and unalive all the Amalekites. May the men, women, children, and donkeys all fall upon your sword. Don't keep anything for yourself. I mean, that's the gist of it. You want me to do Psalms 137:9 as next? Blessed is he who bashes his children on the rocks. All right, go ahead.
Are you finished?
Yeah. They just kept spamming it, so I just wanted to address it.
No, that's fine. That's your life, so you can't do anything with one. So my question was, if someone say I am God, and in other places say, oh, I am no God, I am just a messenger of God or Messiah of God.
If you show me a verse where Jesus says, I am not God, I will stop worshiping him.
I will be tell you, all the Christians go to hell according to Jesus.
Oh, it burns my hands. It burns my hands. It burns my hands, precious.
So you want to tell you every Christian go to hell according to Jesus?
What?
Do you want to do you want to give it to the verses? Every Christian go to hell according to Jesus.
Hold on.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Do you want it
Well, just saying
Let's
it
go
louder
to-
is not going to make it any clearer.
Okay, go to Matthew.
For the taste of
7.
purple is blah, blah, blah. What? For the taste of purple is blah, blah, blah. Doesn't make any more sense. Just because it's
Okay,
louder.
so go to Matthew.
What's the argument, bro?
Yeah, I say to every Christian. Yeah, I'm trying to show you.
Matthew 7, we will come to you and we say we prophesied in your name and we cast out demons in your name, and Jesus will look upon them and say, go away from me, ye who practice lawlessness, I never knew you.
So how you know you are one of those Christian you go to hell?
I don't.
So you don't know then?
No.
Okay, that's it. That's all. Is it clear?
Yeah. Well.
So you don't
that's just
know, you go to
like,
heaven or hell,
opinion,
and you
man.
say to Muslims say I'm go to heaven, or no, I'm no go to heaven. If you know do good thing, you go to something. Because I hear 1,000 Christians say, because Jesus died for us, we go to heaven. But in the verse, I give it to you, in the Matthew 7 verse 21, 22, 23, Jesus is clear, say, get away from me. You are say, Lord, Lord, or I do magical or miracle against your name. Get away from me. So my question is to you, is you are play nice. You say, I don't know if I am in this group or no group. But I think every Christian by these verses go to hell, according Matthew 7.
Congratulations.
Good.
Is there
Do you
anything
understand?
else?
Yeah, and did Jesus is Jews or?
I don't know if Jesus liked Jews. I don't know.
Where Jews? Wow, did his mother? Let's go say.
Did he like his mom? Probably.
Okay, so no. I said, did Jesus' mother is Jews or no?
Does she like Jews? I don't know if she likes Jews.
No, I said no. Does like Jews? I said, did his
Is she
mother?
lactose? I don't know if she's lactose.
Sir, try to go into somewhere else. I said, did Jesus' mother is Jews or no Jews?
Is she? Well, she was just one Jew. She wasn't several.
Okay, so Jesus was born by Maryam, yeah? Did Jesus born in Jews' mother? Yes or no?
You serious?
Are you here or you don't have anything to? I think so. Now he's cook. When Jesus said, "I am come for last."
How the hell was I a racist? Somebody said I was a racist. How was I a racist? What did I do that was racist?
When Jesus said, "I'm come for last of sheep of Israel," so that means saying he's the Jews, right? That's it.
What's it?
Don't say he's that's it. Don't say he's Christian because he's never created Christian. That Paul created. Paul is killed 1,000 Christian where first people was surrounded with Jesus. Paul killed them 1,000 of people of Christian.
Thousands.
And yeah, thousands.
Thousands, he says. Oh, he must have drove through a tunnel. I don't know what happened. They love Paul more than we do. They say we worship Paul. I barely bring up Paul. The only time I ever really talk about Paul is when other people talk about Paul. Hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you?
I'm 17 years old, and I have a question about regarding Christianity.
17, he says. Stop talking to grown men on the internet.
Wait. Let me tell you something. All right. Let me tell you something.
Don't talk to grown men on the internet when you're a child. I guess in Islam, he's not considered a child. That's a full-grown man. Hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you?
Hey, what's up, man? I'm 26.
All right, man. Can you convince me to stop worshiping Jesus?
Well, I probably cannot, but I did have a question regarding Christianity.
No.
I was wondering how comes
Nope.
Nope.
No, we're not here to answer your questions, man. If you got questions about Christianity, I recommend you go to your local pastor or parish or priest. That's their job.
All right. Thanks, Sid.
All right. It takes so long to kick somebody. You got to click it and then it opens and then it shits and it's awkward. It's like when you open the door from somebody and then you want them to leave and they're just casually walking out, looking at something, doing the thing. I still don't have anybody from the shorts chat. Not a single problem. I'm wondering if it's the same issue where it does not working again. But Abby tested it and it worked. So I don't know, man. I don't know. That one guy wasn't the sweetest cookie in the box. Can somebody else test it in the shorts chat? Anybody else willing to do that for me? If Paul created Christianity, who was he persecuting? That's a really good point. I'm going to use that. Wow, I've never thought of that. See, you guys teach me. I learn from you. You learn from me. I learn from you. Iron sharpens iron. Great question. It's a great question. Is this person going to connect or what? I don't want to move on to the next person if I don't know. All right, let's see. Funky, the man. Can you hear me?
Yeah, works fine. I can hear you.
I guess no one wants to come in from the shorts today. All right, bro. Appreciate you. Yeah, I guess it's just no one's coming in. Mm-hmm. My fire, my one desire. I want it that way.
Tell me why.
Ain't nothing but a heartache.
Tell me why.
Ain't nothing but a mistake.
Tell me why.
I never want to hear you say
That
I want it that way. Thank you so much. All right, how old are you?
27.
All right, you got some background noise if you don't mind killing it, though. All right, good. All right, man. Can you convince me to stop worshiping Jesus?
I'll try. I'll be out quick.
All right.
Do you think he even wants to be worshipped?
Questions are not arguments, my friend.
I can only imagine, since if I understand the lore correctly, he was once a man. So I can only imagine,
the lore,
even as he is now, he must have human cognitive thought and function. I can only compare other people to the way I think. Me personally, I would not want to be worshipped. I would not want to be put on a pedestal. At the very most, an example. A moral example at the very most.
I'm not convinced.
Worshipping, though, I don't know. I can't imagine he would want to be worshipped or idolized. He seemed like a very humble man.
Yeah, I'm not convinced.
That's all I got. Have a good one, man. I'm out.
Thanks for singing with me. Tell me why. Why can I still hear him? Oh, he's gone now. All right. Samical. Hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you? All right, thanks, bro.
I was able to get in.
Awesome. We appreciate it. You guys are great. Let's see if this one is the same thing. Umar. Hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you? Hi, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you? Yep. Just so everybody knows, I know you can't hear him. I have him turned off for a reason. Just until I know who it is. Oh, and he left. And he left. Tried to get in on the shorts and it didn't work for me. Well, we had a few other people get in, so I think it's maybe your end. Let's try again. Matt, hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you? Yeah, you got to fix that mic. You got to fix that mic before I bring you back in, man. I'm not even going to subject my chat to that. Fix my hair. My hair is great. What are you talking about? I love my hair. Took me a long time to get my hair this way. The link isn't clickable for shorts. Oh my goodness gracious, guys. You see the part where it says in bio? Did you put that in there? In description? Link is also in description. Abby. You got to put in there. Link is also in description because these guys can't figure that out. So link is also in the description of the shorts video, by the way, guys. You'll be able to click that one.
All you have to do is copy and paste if you can't figure it out.
You can't copy and paste on the phone.
Why?
You can't do it on the phone. Doesn't work. Matt, did you get your mic working? Much better. How old are you again? All right. Convince me to stop worshiping Jesus. Go ahead.
Sure. Atheism is infallibly true. Okay? The position of atheism is a lack of belief in something. A lack of belief means that it necessarily can't be wrong. So therefore, atheism is necessarily true. It's infallibly true.
Okay. What's your doxastic attitude towards theism?
What's that mean?
Yeah, so what you're talking about is just a belief state, a mental state. What I'm asking is about an active claim. It's either yes, no, or I don't know.
Yeah, no, the atheism, the belief claim, all knowledge claims are belief claims.
Yeah, you're just talking about like a mental state. I'm talking about a doxastic attitude, an affirmative claim towards something. Does God exist? Yes, no, or I don't know.
No.
No? Okay.
Yep.
Prove it.
Because of a lack of belief in God is infallibly true. Anyone that does believe in God cannot have an infallible position. Therefore, the only infallible true position would be atheism.
Yeah, again, that doesn't follow.
How does that not follow?
How does it follow? You're just saying, I lack the belief, therefore it's infallibly true. You haven't made an inference rule. What's the inference rule?
Well, it's a modus tollens.
It's a modus tollens?
If it is the case,
What's premise one?
I'll run it. I'll run you through the argument. If it is the case that the God of the Bible, Jesus, has revealed himself to everyone, right? That's a claim that the Bible makes.
It's not.
Oh no, the God of the Bible hasn't been revealed to everyone according to Romans 1.
Not in the context you're talking about.
Oh no. So you're saying there are people that have not been revealed the information that the God exists?
You're making an argument for atheism. Why are you talking about Christianity?
I'm making the argument, because one of the premises of Christianity is that the God has revealed himself to every single person.
But okay, Christianity is false. What's your argument for atheism?
Yeah, so that they are without excuse. Yeah, that the atheistic argument would bounce off of that one. Therefore, the God has not revealed himself to me. Therefore, the God doesn't exist.
Okay, God hasn't revealed himself to you. Therefore, he doesn't exist. That's your argument?
If it is the case that the God of the Bible has revealed himself to everyone,
that's an argument against Christianity, not an argument for atheism. You know that, right?
Well, Christianity is the only worldview that makes knowledge possible, so I'm appealing to your worldview for my knowledge.
So if Christianity is the only worldview that makes knowledge possible, then how are you getting knowledge for atheism and rejecting Christianity?
You're the ultimate source of my knowledge for this argument because that's your claim.
I am not making a claim.
Yeah, I'm borrowing from you. You are my ultimate source for knowledge.
How are you borrowing from me if I'm not making a claim?
Oh, so if you're holding the position that Jesus is true and that you worship him, right? And then that's what gives you the position that you can know things. Aren't you arguing from that position?
That's not my argument, and I never use that argument.
Oh, okay. So how do you know things?
What are you getting at? What's your argument, bro?
Well, I gave you the infallibly true argument for atheism.
Sorry,
That should have persuaded you.
What's the inference rule? You said it was mollitus tollens. What's P1 again? For atheism. Remember, this is for atheism, not anti-Christianity. So P1 is what?
Well, if the Christian God is the only God that exists, then atheism would be an anti-Christianity position.
So you're saying that the only logically possible God that could exist is the Christian God?
That's what Christians claim, yeah.
Who cares what Christians claim? You're claiming what atheism is the only infallible truth. What's your argument for that?
Yeah, because it's a lack of belief, and a lack of belief cannot be wrong.
Can you explain to me the difference between a lack of belief and agnosticism?
Agnosticism would be suspending judgment.
And what's the difference between a lack of belief and agnosticism?
A lack of belief in something means it doesn't exist because I don't believe it to exist. Something could be justified and true. So I'm an atheist that holds the position that the Christian position is just
You're still not explaining the difference. So I'll just watch this. Watch this. I lack the belief that God doesn't exist.
You lack the belief that God doesn't exist? That doesn't take belief.
I lack the belief that God doesn't exist.
Okay.
So therefore he exists. It's the most rational position because I just lack the belief he doesn't exist.
Well, you believe in things that don't?
I lack the belief that God doesn't exist.
So therefore he doesn't exist. So you don't have a belief that God doesn't exist. Isn't that a double negative? So God doesn't exist?
I lack the belief in atheism.
Well, atheism is a lack of belief, so that just makes you an atheist as soon as you say I lack belief. So you've already conceded
true.
You don't worship Jesus anymore.
So somebody who doesn't believe in snow is an atheist?
Well, if you lack belief on the fundamental thing
hold on,
knowledge.
let's do this. Somebody lacks the belief that the world is round. They're an atheist?
No, the world being round isn't a fundamental position that
answer
makes
the
knowledge
question.
possible.
Answer the question.
Yeah, but we're talking about what's
Answer the
fundamental.
question.
The shape of the earth
Answer
is
the
not fundamental
question.
to knowledge. No, I already said no,
Answer
dude, and I'm telling you why.
so then atheism is not just a lack of belief, is it?
Well,
It's a
that's
lack
the
of
claim.
belief
The claim
towards
is
a
that it's
deity,
lack of
right?
belief. Towards all deities.
Okay, so lack of belief. Okay, towards all deities, then why do you keep bringing up Christianity as the argument?
Okay, I could run a different argument if you don't like that one.
It's not even an argument. You haven't presented one. I've asked you for P1 like 5 times and you haven't given it.
Yeah, lack of belief can't be wrong.
I lack the belief that elephants exist.
Okay, that
Am I
doesn't have
wrong?
anything to do with the fundamental.
Am I wrong?
When you're talking.
Am I wrong?
No, when you're talking about.
Am I wrong?
No.
I'm not wrong?
No, you could lack the belief
I'm not
elephants
wrong.
exist.
I'm not wrong.
No, I don't care if you lack the belief elephants. I've never even seen an elephant. How do I even know if they exist or not?
That hurt my head so much, man. That hurt my head so much. Oh, it must be Monday. There's the lawn mowing guy. I'm going to have to close the window again. Umar, hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you?
He was in before, wasn't he?
Hi, how old are you? Yes, how old are you? All right, let me bring you in. All right, man, can you convince me to stop worshiping Jesus?
Stop worshiping Jesus or stop believing Christianity?
I can't believe you guys think this has got to be sarcasm. This is why I'm convinced that 90% of the world is just buffoons. If this isn't sarcasm. All right, sorry, what? Go ahead.
Okay, first of all, like if you believe in Christianity, like I don't think there's no enough evidence to believe in Christianity.
Okay, congratulations.
Second, okay, you can give any evidence. So
well, you just told me I don't think that there's enough evidence. Okay, congratulations. You just gave me your subjective perspective.
Okay, if you need to convince me, then you can provide some evidence.
It's not my
Why do you
position.
believe in Christianity?
It's your position. You need to convince me, right? The topic is convince me to stop worshiping Jesus.
Okay. Then how can I convince you there's no evidence, right?
Oh, he left. No, they're going to say I ran. They're going to say it anyway, so I might as well do it.
Someone opened up their mouth today. He's running, you see. Just had a little something to say. He's running, you see. Not a fist, not a threat, not a sword. He's running, you see. Just a word, just a word, just a word. He's running, you see. He's running, you see. He's running, you see. From the most harmless things that could ever be. He's running, you see. He's running, you see. Just syllables floating, but John disagrees.
Bro, I ran from the guy who said I could be agnostic towards elephants or atheist towards elephants existing. Because I could just lack the belief in elephants. And that's the correct position to have. Listen, if that's smart, I want to be stupid. All right, let's move on. Max, hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you? Max? Max? Maxarino? Maximilian? Imagine being named off the highest setting on a hairdryer. All right, I got no one else in the queue, so no one else in the queue. Oh, is he back? Max. Last chance. All right. Blockerino. Blockerino. Mr. President. Mr. President. Oh, might be me again. I'm going to reset. Sometimes the audio just stops working for some reason.
Redditor.
Mr. President. I can hear you now.
Okay, great. I like the belief that elephants exist, except as a Republican, I have to because it's our picture. Just kidding. I don't have any party because I lack the belief in parties. It's all a scam. I got you, John.
It's true. He's got me. He's got me. And remember, guys, that's the most rational position. Just lack the belief in all things. I lack
the belief in human rights. Frankly, we should just throw them out.
You know what I should have done? I lack the belief that this is a good argument.
Oh, that's a good one. I lack the belief that that would be wrong.
Just so you guys know, we are endorsed by Donald T. Trump, as you can clearly hear.
That's not true. The Dark Lord endorses no one but himself.
That's also true. That's also true.
All right. Thanks, John.
God bless.
Plug the D&D.
Oh, yeah. Abby.
Yes.
Pick a date.
Yeah. I'm going to get her to look at the date. I keep forgetting to show her. I need you to pick some dates that would be good. Hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you?
I'm 35.
All right, can you convince me to stop worshiping Jesus?
I really do hope that this is a productive conversation more than an argument.
Usually isn't when people come up with that kind of attitude off the bat. Usually when they like already kind of start by poisoning the well, it usually doesn't lead into production. You could try again. We can start from the beginning.
Sure. So as a human being, we're all visual, aren't we?
No, some people are blind.
Unless you're blind. Sure. Okay. So do you think, this isn't part of my argument, but do you think blind people are more willing to believe in Christ? Okay, you guys are laughing. Here you go. I'll just give it to you straight. There's people in the comments.
You're not talking to the comments.
Or if you one person put up laughing
no problem
emojis.
then. I won't pay attention to them.
You can go down.
But hold on, one person put in laughing emoji.
So there is a more than half naked man strapped to a cross, and this is what is visually projected onto people. You are literally lusting for death. That is Christ. You are lusting for death.
How's it lust?
You are saying whatever. No. Listen.
How is it lust?
Whatever. Because that is, the ultimate sacrifice is to be stripped bare of all of your worldly possessions.
How is it lust?
You are at the mercy. What do you mean? It's a naked man.
It's okay, Abby. When you worked at the old age home, and then you hold on. When you worked at the old age home and you had to help the out.
No,
hold
I
on,
didn't say
I'm gonna
lusting.
finish speaking, please. I let you speak. Now it's my turn. I'm gonna finish this sentence, and if I can't finish it, you're gonna go back into the chat. So Abby, when you worked at the old age home and you worked with the elderly and you had to wash them and you had to help them with their creams and they were naked, were you lusting for them?
0%.
Okay, so just because someone is naked doesn't mean that you're lusting for them, right? Abby?
You're not understanding me.
Not right.
Okay, cool.
That was your whole point.
Yeah, so how is it? So then let's go back. Jesus is naked on the cross.
There's not three different people.
Jesus is naked on the cross. How is that lust? Jesus, hold on. Jesus is naked. Hold on.
Bye-bye.
Jesus is naked on the cross.
Bye.
How is that lust? You don't know how to leave the app, do you? Because you're still here.
No, I don't. Disconnect me, please.
I want to know how it's lust.
Disconnect me, please. I was
It's not my job, it's your job.
I have been disrespected, and you are saying
no one's disrespected
chat
you.
is not a part of this, and now there is some random person in here.
They're not random.
It's
I'm right
not
there.
random.
You are
It's my
talking
wife.
to. I don't care. Get me off the freaking chat. I'm
she's
done.
She's literally got a camera and everything. Oh, she figured it out.
That was the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
She got so mad. All right, let's bring up the next guest.
I've not been disrespectful, but I'm saying that you're just lusting after.
Yeah. I'm not disrespecting your Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. You're horny for him. Yeah, not disrespectful at all, by no means. Hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you? Green light? Oh, sorry, I forgot to unmute. That was my bad. I forgot to hit the unmute button. Sorry, how old are you? All right, let me bring you in, man. Can you convince me to stop worshiping Jesus?
Do my best.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, so my contention currently right now, the God you believe in only exists in your imagination.
Okay, prove it.
Where else is he?
Yeah, that's saying I'm right until you prove me wrong.
No. That's me pointing out that I don't see any evidence for him.
Mm-hmm. Congratulations.
Outside of him being in your imagination, where else is he?
Yeah, so you're just kind of saying I'm right until I'm wrong. This is whole hey, here's my conclusion. Unless you can give me a different answer, my answer is right. That's not how argumentation works.
No. I'm not. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying
that's literally what you're saying. You're saying he's made up. If he's not made up, where is he? That's what you're doing. That's literally what you're doing.
Well, let me elaborate. That's not how I wanted to come off. I'm saying the God I've heard you explain sounds like he only exists in your imagination. Outside of that, where else can you demonstrate that the God you believe in?
You just said the same thing with different words. You still there?
Yes, still here. I was just trying to think of a way to formulate it to where it can come across, at least in the way I'm trying to present it. Yeah, I think that's the best I can do with at least what I was expecting the conversation to go. I'm contending that, yeah, I don't know if I can do it much better, any more justice. You obviously disagree with me, right?
Yeah, so what's your argument?
Here, baby.
Did you pick dates?
Multiple?
Or a date?
Yeah.
Okay.
I sent you a text.
Oh, our anniversary is coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah. 3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love you.
I love you too. Wait, where'd he go?
Oh, he left. Oh, she wants to come back.
No. Baby, no.
Well, there's no one else in the queue. What do you want to do? Stare in each other's eyes for the whole life?
Dreamy
what's
eyes.
up?
I am perceiving as a non-blind person that you are the one running this live, correct?
Yep.
Then may I please have a one-on-one with you without you pussying out and dropping in on someone else for backup?
He could have told
For
that story
backup?
by himself. Go ahead, John. Tell my story.
For backup.
Okay, all right. I won't use my wife as backup. So my wife worked as a nurse at the old age home, and she had to, bathe them when they were naked and apply creams to them when they were naked and take care of them when they were naked. And I have a strong confidence. I have a strong confidence. I have a strong confidence that she didn't lust after them.
After Christ. No, don't be disrespectful.
Oh no,
and
Abby,
derail
don't
this.
talk.
sorry.
Don't
I'm
talk.
sorry.
Don't talk,
I'm
Abby.
sorry.
You're not allowed to
I'm
talk.
not here. I'm not here.
Here, I'll mute her microphone.
Okay.
That's just
Thank
me and you.
We're talking
one on one.
terms.
Locked in.
Thank you. I'm going to calm down because I appreciate you. Thank you. I appreciate you.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to just not look at my screen right now because that whole thing.
Because you might
zoom
lust?
in. Okay. No. Can we refrain from derailing this? This is philosophy, okay? This is speaking from a philosophical point of view. Of
Name the 3 laws of logic.
We're not talking about that. Okay,
That's
we're
the
talking
fundamental.
about the
That's 101 philosophy. You said this is philosophy. So what's the 3 laws of logic?
I already asked you to not derail this, and
How
you're
many
like,
managers do you ask to speak to a
misdirection.
day?
You know what? I think that you've got a problem.
I'm gonna guess like at least 3 a day. Can I speak to your managers? You seem to get really offended by very simple things. So you said this is philosophy.
Oh no!
What are the 3 laws of logic?
It's great that you said how disrespectful to say that you lust for Christ after I am off the live with you.
Okay, I'll say it to you. It was incredibly disrespectful to say that we lusted after Jesus. I remember you left.
And it's
I didn't kick
really
you.
disrespectful for you to purposefully misunderstand me and then overrun me and then project to all of these people that that's what I said and how
You're
disrespectful
so
of me.
sensitive. When's the last time you got a hug? That long?
You are extremely
It's a long
disrespectful
time.
and it has nothing. So you're taking jabs at me. I'm
long
saying that this entire.
Long time.
Can you stop attacking me?
Very long time.
You are in a toxic relationship with your wife if this is how you act.
I'd ask her, but you said you're not allowed to
This
stop
is so
talking.
embarrassing for
You're
you.
not allowed to talk.
This is so embarrassing for you. Oh my god. I'm so sorry. Anyways,
For what?
so what I was saying was that you lust after the idea of death, as in this entire image of Christ on the cross and his sacrifice and all that, and you should just follow Christianity and
Define
follow all
lust.
these rules. Okay. We're not talking about that.
We are talking about that. You said
want
you
to talk
lust
about
after
Okay,
death.
I
What
said
is
yes.
lust?
Yes, lust after death. It means
Mm-hmm.
that you just wholeheartedly yearn for this and you accept
We
it
yearn for death?
with almost yes.
Really? That's
So
the,
when
that's
they
the
say,
antith.
okay,
Hold on, pause,
okay,
pause.
so
That's
let me
that,
drag.
that's
No,
hold on,
no,
hold on.
no, no.
Yes,
Because
yes,
I'm not
yes,
going to be
yes,
called
yes,
disrespectful again
yes,
and have my
yes,
words
yes.
twisted. When it
So
comes to
I'm
the
not twisting
justice
your words. I'm
system,
rebuking your words.
when it comes to the
Hold,
system of
hold
justice,
on, Linda,
okay?
Linda,
When
Linda,
you are
Linda,
attacked by someone and you
Linda,
are
Linda,
a
Linda,
victim
Linda,
of a
Linda,
crime.
Linda, yeah, lusting after death is the antithesis to Christianity because Christianity's whole perspective is eternal life. All right, Linda, you can talk now. You got to mute yourself. Let's see if you can figure it out. You're unmuted now. You can talk.
I already told you I'm not going to argue.
This is an arguing channel.
I asked if you wanted to have a productive conversation, and you, as you know,
As
being who you
predicted,
are,
she did
saying
not
stop
calm
me from
down.
believing in
Do
Jesus.
yourself a favor and take a few breaths, caller.
Do you know why they took the Bible out of the court to swear on?
Because we live in a secular society. Actually, I don't know. I don't know if that's true. Lawyers in the chat, because I got quite a few lawyers that follow this channel. Is that true? Do they take the Bible out?
Yeah, you don't swear on the Bible anymore. I guess they were playing.
I'm pretty
too
sure
close
it's an
to the
option.
chest.
I'm pretty sure you can choose to or not to. I'm waiting for the lawyers to talk, even if they're here today.
But I guess you are you're too young for that conversation.
How old do you think I am? Here's the lawyer. It's not a requirement, but you
35
can.
is my age.
I'm the same age as you.
Because 35 is my age, I don't care. Just because 35 is my age does not compare to my life experience.
I'm the exact same age as you, and you're going to say I'm too young?
Okay. So you're going to say in the Bible that people were hundreds of years old and there is not a manipulation on the perception of time itself?
What does that have to do with anything?
Oh yeah, it has to do with the projection of Christianity on the masses.
That was a Jewish thought.
Of the masses. Well,
you're taking from a Jewish thought. You're taking from a hold on. You're taking from a Jewish thought.
I'm sorry.
Hold on. Let me address what you said. Let me just address what you said. Let me address what you said. Let me address what you said. You're taking a Jewish thought, and the Jewish thought wasn't to integrate into other societies and take control. They're actually very inclusive or reclusive. They're very much we are who we are, and you guys can't be who we are. So the whole idea that they're saying that people are hundreds of years old is control the masses is just nonsensical.
Wasn't Jesus a Jew?
Yes.
Enjoy your coffee.
And she left again. Host is a misogynist. How?
Put me back on.
There you go, Abby. You want to yap?
He literally tried to include me in this conversation, and she told him to shut me up.
Why do you never stay in the center of your camera?
Because I spin. I'm
going to move your camera around. I'm going to move it so it points at the corner because that's where you like to hide. And you also pull the thing off the wall so now people can see my bad paint job.
I didn't do that.
Caller,
I think Tristan did that.
I am praying for you to my God, Jesus, for you to have peace. I don't know who hurt you, but it breaks my heart how angry you are.
I just want to know how many managers have had to talk to her.
Many.
Please
don't let her up again.
But it's funny.
I also liked when she tried to make you like, what's it called? Anti-Semitic. But she said that we were twisting her words.
Kareem. Hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you? Kareem? Might be me. Let me refresh. Sometimes that happens. Don't know why. Hello. Yeah, hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you? All right, let me bring you in. All right, can you convince me to stop worshiping Jesus?
Yes, because Jesus fulfills no messianic prophecies in the Old Testament.
Great. Can you give me the methodology on how you confirm what a prophecy is and how it works?
How to confirm a prophecy? I would say it's one individual or concept that has to fulfill all criterion of the prophecy.
So what's the methodology?
Based on what the scripture says, it gives us a criterion, and then we test that criterion against the person.
Okay, I'll try again for the third time. What's the methodology?
What do you mean method? I guess hermeneutics.
No, it's not a methodology. Is a mechanism in which you determine something is a prophecy, right? Something has been fulfilled, and the necessary or sufficient conditions of it. So, for example, when God Himself says to forgetting his David, says to David, if you stay in the temple, Saul will come and unalive you, right? He left the temple, so Saul didn't unalive him. Was God a false prophet in that situation?
No, wait, say it again. I'm sorry.
So when God said to David that if you stay in the temple, right, Saul is going to come and unalive you. Is that a prophecy?
Is it a prophecy? Not necessarily. It's just
God's not telling David the future.
I mean, he is. Yes. Okay. Then I guess it would be prophecy.
Right. And so then David leaves the temple, and therefore he's not unalived. Is God a false prophet there?
Well, no. Okay, right. I see what you mean. The prophecy was contingent on the person acting.
So that is a type of prophecy. That is a conditional prophecy. So that's a type of prophecy. So a sufficient so how would you sufficiently prove a conditional prophecy came true or didn't come true? Right? That's an impossible thing to do. So that's one aspect. Then there's also the type of prophecy called typology, right? And then there's also the fact that we have to look at midrash, right? The Jews didn't have a consistent view on how to look at prophetic things. There's also the vagueness of prophecy, or the aspect of God gives prophetic visions and then he has to explain it right after because people don't understand it. So it's a very uphill battle to try to prove prophecy either way. It's not even something I try to use to prove Christianity because we don't really have a good mechanism or methodology for prophecy.
What? I'm sorry. What did you ask me?
I'm not repeating myself a third time.
No, I
didn't even ask you a question. That was twice you had to go, what did you say? What did you say? No, the answer is no to the schmoke and the schmeed. That's to be of sober mind. Yeah, people don't listen, man. Most people don't listen. At some point, I'm going to sit down and really study prophecy, though. Because I do think there's an argument there. I just don't know it on either side. And most people don't have a mechanism or a thing. No, the answer is no, my friend. Hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you?
I'm 33.
All right, man. Can you convince me to stop worshiping Jesus?
No, I'm sorry. It's impossible. I just wanted to say I appreciate you. I'll be off here now.
I don't like compliments. Prefer insults. Works better for me. Yeah, the problem with prophecy, here's the thing. Any argument centered around prophecy is going to be based off an individual's interpretation of it. For example, you're going to read Isaiah. You're going to say that Jesus didn't fulfill anything in Isaiah because Israel is technically the servant. Okay, well, there's a lot of problems with that too because it separates Israel and the servant. For it says servant will die for Israel. So Israel can't be the servant in that context. Plus, there are some Jews who thought there was a messianic figure and there wasn't. There's some that didn't think there was a messianic figure. It kind of goes all over the place. Daniel 9, I actually think, is the strongest prophetic vision, though, because it gives like a specific date on when Jesus will come. And it's pretty accurate. I think that's one of the strongest ones. Don't tickle me in the morning and walk away. What? I like how we both said what at the same time. All right, Abby, entertain the masses.
Oh, no. I don't want to. What a day. What a day. These guys have been weird. Okay. This is your chance to ask questions about John. Yeah, exactly. AMA time. Is it weird that I Bible study while listening? No. That's hard to do, though. I couldn't do that. I can't listen to, like, words and read at the same time. Did I have a nice weekend? I did. I went to my parents' house for Father's Day. Gave my dad flowers. And chocolate. Yeah, John is super toxic, making me talk. How dare he? How dare he give me equal opportunity? Hi, Bert. When are you going to start a crypto wallet? I don't know enough about crypto to get involved with that. Does John like long walks on the beach? We like short walks on the beach.
The sun.
He doesn't like the sun.
No. As you can tell.
Does John like pina coladas and getting lost in the rain?
Yeah. I do. I do. Don't do crypto. I do have a crypto wallet. I just never use it. I set it up and just never use it. The sun is good. What? The sun is good. Vitamin good. D is good. Yeah. The sun is actually can be very bad for you.
In excess.
Yeah. Can be very, very, very bad for you. There's a reason that monkeys stay out of the sun. Because we'll unalive them.
Am I a Greek too? No, I am Irish. And like English.
I lost $250K in crypto getting drained. Don't do it. You lost $250,000 in crypto?
John into yoga? No. He doesn't like stretching.
Well, it's just boring.
Yeah, stretching is boring.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just boring.
Guess what I'm having for dinner tonight?
What are you having for dinner tonight?
Chicken noodle soup.
What am I having for dinner tonight?
Leftovers. You have leftover ground beef, leftover chicken thighs, and leftover moose.
Okay.
So you need to eat that.
Yeah. Hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you?
20.
All right, man. Can you convince me to stop worshiping Jesus?
Maybe. I'm really unsure, but
okay.
Well, I'll just give my perspective on things. So for me, right, I think religion is the deification of culture. So I don't think there's anything that's true of Christianity that makes it any more real than any other mythology out there. Right? Like I wouldn't consider the doctrines of Christianity, Christian cosmogony, or eschatology more real than, let's say, the Enuma Elish or Zoroastrianism or various other different mythologies.
All right, just one sec here. A hug for Karen from Jesus Christ. Awesome. The Bible says not to swear on the Bible. Does it? My apologies if this has been answered before. Can we get a big John soundtrack from somewhere? He's running on. Nope, you cannot have it because you need to come. You need a reason to come to this channel. All right, man. Well, that's what you believe. Congrats.
Well, I'm asking is, what difference does Christianity have that makes it true and the other one's not true?
It's not my position. It's not my position to convince you. The topic is for you to convince me. So you can't just say this is what I believe. Prove me wrong.
Well, I'm asking you, what is different about Christianity that makes it true and the others not?
Again, you're asking me to convince you, but the topic is for you to convince me.
I see you're already convinced. So I'm asking you what details specifically convince you.
What does it say above my head?
I get that, but if I understand
can you
those
just
details,
read it out loud for me, please?
Convince me to stop worshiping in Jesus.
Okay, great. So why should I do that?
If the cosmogony is provably false, then wouldn't the lineages also be false?
If what is false?
The cosmogony.
What the heck is cosmogony?
Cosmogony means creation myth. So like the Christian cosmogony would be Genesis, then Adam and Eve.
Okay, prove it false.
Adam and Eve are provably false due to abiogenesis and evolution through natural selection.
Okay, prove to me evolution and abiogenesis.
Abiogenesis has been proven through modern scientific research.
Abiogenesis has not been proven by anybody. There's not a singular scientist out there that say it's proven.
Do you know what autocatalysis is?
I don't know what autocatalysis is, but abiogenesis hasn't been proven.
Abiogenesis has been proven through the main mechanism of autocatalysis.
Okay, cite a source.
Gotcha. So do you know what?
No. Abiogenesis, not autocatalysis.
Yeah.
Whatever it was.
Autocatalysis is a part of.
Prove to me abiogenesis, that we figured out how to create life from non-life.
That we don't create life from non-life. Nature does it.
Okay, prove to me how we know life came from non-life.
through autocatalysis.
You just keep repeating
That's part of,
yourself.
that's a part. So that's. I'll give you the paper. We could talk. We can read the paper. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Prebiotic synthesis. Autocatalytic selection as a driver for the origin of life. Yeah, here's a peer-reviewed paper on it. So basically, autocatalytic selection. This is by Mike P. Williamson. This is just a. It's on PubMed Central National Library of Medicine. It's like biomedical paper. Darwin's theory of evolution by natural selection was revolutionary. I'm reading the abstract. I'm just gonna skip through this a little bit, but it says prebiotic systems. Here, okay. There is a viable mechanism for prebiotic systems, autocatalytic selection, in which molecules catalyze reactions and process that lead to the increase of their concentration. Crucially, this provides a driver for the increases of concentration of molecules to a level that permits prebiotic metabolism. We show that this can produce high levels of amino acids, sugar phosphates, nucleotides, and lipids, then lead on to polymers. So what autocatalysis is basically inorganic chemicals can arrange into self-organizing systems, and then natural selection from there gives us...
There's a huge leap there. You're jumping into abiogenesis. There's no mention of abiogenesis or life coming from non-life. There's even in what you said is not even like coherent.
Mechanisms for prebiotic systems. What does that mean?
Mechanism for prebiotic system. Does it make a biotic system?
Yeah, that's what it. Yes.
Okay, so if I look outside and I see a wheel and some metal, I'm like, hey, I got a car.
That's a completely disanalogous. Like, what is that?
How is it not? You're saying there's a mechanism there for prebiotic. Did it become biotic? Do we have any evidence of it becoming biotic?
The full sentence is mechanisms for prebiotic systems that catalyze reactions to increase the concentration. Crucially, this provides a driver for concentration in concentrations of molecules to a high level that permits prebiotic metabolism.
Prebiotic.
Hold on, give it a
What's the word pre mean?
Before.
So there's a mechanism there before biotics. Did it become biotics?
Yes.
Where?
It's building the building blocks of biology, amino acids, metabolism. And then once we have all those building blocks, it becomes biotic.
So that's like saying, hey, I look at the universe and I see the same 4 building blocks all over the universe. Therefore, I see the prebiotics towards biology.
That's literally, that was a nothing burger. I don't know what that meant. What
you're doing is you say, hey, I see stuff here that biotics needs to have to exist. Therefore, that goes from that to biotics.
Yep, that's kind of how we see the things that biology needs to make get made through non-organic matter.
Okay, so show those prebiotics things becoming biotics.
Okay. So this is called the transition from chemical to biological. The necessary precursors in the study of biogenesis, researchers collective called autocatalytic sets, CAS, networks of molecules that catalyze each other's formation. That's basically what I'm saying. It's a big system where the transition.
I don't need your explanation. You keep saying you give a vague reference to a sentence and then you give your understanding or interpretation. What we're looking for here is not this non-life coming into life, which you say has been proven. So show it to me.
It had chemicals turn to biological.
Showing that we have the mechanism, or sorry, what is it? Showing that we have the, what's the word I'm looking for? The mechanism or the aspects of what creates life does not mean that we know how to make those aspects into life or that it does naturally.
It's not saying we make it. I'm not saying we.
Notice how you jumped in where I was finishing, where I was still talking. I said, where we do it or it does naturally was the other aspect. Okay. So, can you show me life coming from non-life?
Research on the origin of life
investigates the transition of abiotic chemistry to the emergence of biology with the RNA world hypothesis.
A hypothesis. Hypothesis isn't data.
All right. Now, in the paper, it goes on to say the discovery of natural ribosomes emphasize RNA's catalytic capabilities in prebiotic environments.
Prebiotic.
Is that not evidence?
Prebiotic.
So
before biology. You keep giving me all the data for prebiotic information.
Read the sentence. The discovery of natural ribosomes emphasizes RNA's capabilities in a prebiotic. So we're saying, do you agree RNA is life?
Capability.
Do you agree RNA is life?
I have no clue.
How do you get the prebiotics, and how can you possibly prove that they wouldn't degrade prior to becoming biotic? Hostile environments work against abiogenesis. These experiments create ideal conditions and add prebiotics.
How do you get prebiotics? It's just before biology. I don't understand what that is.
You just keep saying, you just keep saying, hey, we have the building blocks for all the things in prebiotics of what you'd expect to be in biotics. So therefore, it goes from prebiotics to biotics.
No, it's saying that we can get our ribosomes from a prebiotic environment. That's what it's saying.
Okay, prove it.
Collective autocatalytic sets mark crucial milestones in this transition, fostering complexity through autocatalysis. Autocatalysis driven by CES promotes complexity through mutual independent catalytic sets. The transition of ribonucleic acids to complex RNA, I don't know what that word means, remains puzzling. Questions persist about the genesis of the first replicating RNA molecule, RNA stability in prebiotic conditions, and the shift of complex molecules reproduction. This is
none of that says we get life from non-life. Nope. Again, it says here are all the necessary and sufficient conditions you need to get life from non-life. It's a hypothesis. It's not data.
So, RNA is a key as a self-replicating molecule and a transition for the point from biotic chemistry to biology. So it's basically saying that if RNA
you keep
is the
giving
key
me interpretations of it, right? I heard what it said. And you're giving this interpretation. I don't need your interpretation. I need the quote of we have life from non-life. Like, honestly, in all honesty, if we had any data or evidence that says we have life from non-life, that we can prove it, right? This would be on the news everywhere, and you just be able to find a paper that said that. You keep having to read in between the lines and saying this is the conclusion we jump to.
RNA as a key of self-replicating molecule and transitioning point from biotic chemistry to biology. It's saying
biotic chemistry to biology.
Abiotic chemistry to biology. Abiotic chemistry to biology.
And what does that mean?
We go from life to non-life. Abiotic without biology.
So what was the non-life and what was the life? If that's what it's saying.
RNA.
So RNA came
into
from what?
DNA.
RNA went to DNA?
Yeah.
But you told me RNA was already living.
I was asking you if you believed that. That was the question.
So RNA is not living?
RNA is not life. Correct. RNA is not life. RNA is not
But
life.
DNA is life.
Yes.
Okay, so a banana is alive?
Yes.
Okay, fair enough. So RNA changed into DNA.
After you pick it and it's in the store.
So you saying that's what happened, but that's not what the quote said. So what's the paper? What's the paper?
The paper, I'll give you the paper's name. The origin and influence of autocatalytic reaction networks.
Slow down. You think I could type that fast? No, don't type it in the chat. Origin
and influence of autocatalytic reaction networks at the advent of the RNA world.
Of the advent of the RNA world.
But I'm basically saying that RNA is the transition.
Research on the origin of life investigates the transition from abiotic chemistry to the emergence of biology, with the RNA world hypothesis as the leading theory. Okay, so it's a hypothesis and a theory. RNA's dual role in storage catalysts suggests its importance in this narrative. The discovery of natural ribosomes emphasize RNA's catalyst capabilities in prebiotic environments, supporting the plausibility of an RNA world and prompting explanation of peculiar evolution. Why are you lying?
Scroll down.
No, why are you lying? Why are you skipping those things? You just straight up lied, bro. The plausibility of an RNA world and prompting exploration of peculiar evolution. That's an important sentence. Supporting the plausibility of an RNA world and prompting exploration of peculiar evolution.
Scroll down.
Why are you lying?
I'm not lying.
You are lying.
Read the rest of the paper. Scroll down.
So what does that mean then when it says it's prompting the exploration of evolution?
We want to figure out the exact prebiotic pathways, like autocatalysis on mineral surfaces is one.
Okay, so
there's plenty of others.
So if this has already proven it, why is it saying just in the abstract, supporting the plausibility of an RNA world and prompting exploration? Why didn't it just say?
There's more questions that we like to learn about how this happens.
But if the conclusion is we already figured it out, why isn't it just saying this is the conclusion? Why is it saying we need to explore it?
We figured out that it did happen, but we want to know how.
How? That's not what it's saying at all. It's saying the plausibility of an RNA world prompting exploration. Plausibility. It's plausible.
Do you
know what the word plausible is? What's the word plausible mean?
Likely to be true.
That's not even what the word plausible means. Plausible does not mean likely to be true. I mean, it could be true.
Could be true, sure.
Yes. Okay. A peculiar collectively acatalytic sets, CASS, mark a crucial milestone in this transition, fostering complexity through acatalysis, while modern biology emphasizes sequence-specific polymerasis. Remnants of CSIS persist in primarily metabolism highlights in their significance. Autocatalysis, driven by CASS, promotes complexity through mutually independent catalytic sex. Yet the transition from whatever the heck that word is to complex RNA oligomers remain puzzling. So the transition from whatever that is to complex RNA oligomer, whatever that is, remains puzzling. Questions persist about the genesis of first self-replicating RNA molecules. RNA stability as prebiotic conditions and shift to complex molecular reproduction. This review delves into diverse facets of the RNA world's emergence, addressing critical bottlenecks and scientific advances, integrating insights from simulation into virtual evolution research. We illuminate the multi-step biogenesis of catalyst RNA from the abiotic world. Through this exploration, we aim to elucidate the journey of the primordial soup of the dawn of life. I'm just going to say this again slowly. Through this exploration, we aim to elucidate the journey from the primordial soup to the dawn of life, emphasizing the interplay between chemistry and biology and understanding life's origins. You didn't read this, or you're lying. Which one?
Can you go to the next?
You didn't read this, or you're lying. Which one?
Can you go to the next paragraph?
Which one?
I read it. You just only read the abstract.
So
not the
abstract.
Go down.
The abstract is everything that points at in the paper, including their conclusions. Their conclusions is we don't know. We want to investigate. This gives us confidence to look at it. Your conclusion is they do know and they've discovered everything.
Scroll down. I thought that we discovered everything, but scroll down.
All right, man. I'm going to move on because you're not honest.
Wait, can you please scroll down to the RNA world hypothesis? The one sentence I actually read from the paper.
The ones I read the whole abstract and you pick and choose. I'm moving on.
It's not an abstract.
You're dishonest. You're dishonest. What other? There is no more. Unless you paid for the paper. Don't lie. Mihao. Hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you? Host can't read. I read the whole thing, and there's no... look, I'll show you. Look. He said, keep going. There is nothing to keep going. Mihao. Oh, let me refresh, because I don't know, for some reason when I'm on this specific site, it just stops working. Let's try again. There we go. Now I can hear you. How old are you? All right, man. Can you convince me to stop worshiping Jesus? Go ahead.
It'd be a tough sell. It was hard for me. The comment I made was just around how I had noticed growing up. I grew up Roman Catholic. I had just noticed I was meeting lots of people from different religions, all of who I would say were just outstanding, amazing people. And I had a really hard time consolidating the fact that this person was just born in a different part of the world to different parents, grew up in completely different religious customs. They're by all accounts, outstanding people, but according to, our religion, they're growing up praising and defending, a false idol. And I just couldn't consolidate the fact that this person's going to end up in eternal damnation purely because of luck of the draw. They were
okay. Well, then maybe you should read the Bible. Yeah. Maybe you should read the Bible, because the Bible never says someone born somewhere else goes to hell.
Well, no, it's more so, I think, just the fact that, every defense of faith, every, praise, every worship is going towards someone or going towards a God, which is not
to a different
your God.
subject. You said the reason I can't reconcile it is because people in other communities didn't get to know Jesus, therefore they're going to hell. There's no verse in the scripture that says that. There's no church father that says that, right? As a matter of fact, the Bible says the opposite. It says those who do not have the law of Christ are law unto themselves, with their own conscience bearing witness against them, according to St. Paul, right? Jesus himself says that they do not know, they cannot be held accountable for the sins. Now that they do know, there's no excuse for them. So you just didn't read the scripture.
So, well, I think I might have interpreted different, though, because I think they would be assuming then that they were presented with Christ and they decided that, well, no, that's not what I believe. I'm going to instead choose Allah here. But what I would say is, if their parents were raised that way, if their family and friends are raised that way, if the culture they're in is raised that way, presenting them with another option is often not good enough to completely derail what they were born and raised with. And I mean that then you're getting into, well, they were presented the option.
So show me the verse.
Show me no.
Show me the verse where it says that those who out of ignorance go to hell. Go ahead.
Well, it would be worshiping false idols, right? You'd be worshiping a God that is not God. You'd be worshiping a different God entirely. If that's not
there is no verse that says that.
I don't know what would be.
There is no verse that says that those who are ignorant go to hell.
Thou shalt not worship false idols.
Is there a verse that says that those who are ignorant go to hell?
I don't know. Is there?
No, there isn't, right? And again, Jesus says, those who do not know will not be held accountable for their sins. It's an act of rejection. It's not I just didn't know, or I wasn't convinced.
But those who don't know, I mean, that's what I'm saying, though, is if you only know one other faith and religion, and then someone says, well, actually, this is what I believe, this is the actual truth. Like, how is somebody supposed to completely?
That's just somebody saying it to you.
Yeah, I mean, but I mean, you're saying it doesn't say anywhere in the Bible that if they don't know, they go to hell, but it actively states in the Ten Commandments not to worship false idols.
And those were given to people who already believed in Yahweh.
So people who did believe, and then they changed their mind and
it's literally what the Bible said, right? Because Saul worshipped Yahweh. Saul was given Solomon worshipped Yahweh. He was given all of his glory from Yahweh. He had a vision of Yahweh. He spoke to Yahweh directly, and then he worshipped false idols. He went and worshipped other gods because his wives enticed him to it, and he was punished.
So I guess if it doesn't matter and you live an outstanding life, then does it really matter whether you follow?
Never said that either. All I'm saying is your argument is like, I left because people were, this is ridiculous and I can't reconcile it. Just prove to me you never even studied it.
Well, I mean, that's not the only reason. There's lots of reasons.
That's the reason you said.
I mean, this is the one I'm bringing up.
Yeah,
I think it's
and you didn't study it. You felt it. You had a surface thought level and you're like, nah, that's not good enough. And you left. You didn't put in the due diligence
into researching other religions and deciding that I choose
not even
Christ,
what I said.
or
what I'm saying is you didn't even put the due diligence into that thought of like, if people are ignorant towards Christ, they're going to go to hell. The Bible doesn't say it, right? The church fathers don't say it, right? There's no reason to believe it at all. As a matter of fact, the scripture says opposite to that. So how you came to that conclusion is, I don't know, maybe your pastor told it to you and you just assumed it was true. And it's like that Christianity is nonsense and you left.
I didn't assume that it was nonsense. I just assumed that, or I made the obvious call that there is no difference. There is no difference between Christianity, between Muslim, between
That's
Buddha.
a different
Like they're
argument.
all.
Are you conceding the argument that people that the genetic fallacy is basically what you were doing? Is that just simply because they
No,
don't know they go to hell?
I mean,
I don't
no,
reconcile that.
I mean, the point there would be that if I grew up Muslim and praising Allah, as long as I led a good life, I would still go to Christian heaven if that's what you believe. Like, right? It wouldn't matter
It's not what I
whether
said
I
either.
raised.
What I said is no one goes to hell for ignorance.
You go to hell for a choice, and you know that how?
Because that's what the scripture says.
Okay, but the scripture is. I know that Christians hold the scripture to be the word of God. When
now you're moving to a different argument, my friend. Your whole argument, you started on the premise. Your premise was that I could not reconcile the fact that people who simply just did not know about Christianity were going to go to hell. Now I've showed you that's nonsensical, but then you keep jumping to different arguments. So are you agreeing that's a nonsensical argument? You want to do a new one?
No, because I still don't think you've really addressed the point. I mean, like you're saying that as long as they don't know, then it doesn't matter, right? Then they're going to go there.
Said that. Stop putting words in my mouth. I said, listen carefully.
Okay.
Ignorance does not send you to hell. That does not mean that you're automatically going to go to heaven. Doesn't mean you're automatically going to go to hell, right? It says, ignorance will not send you to hell. Being unknown of something is not a damning sin.
Okay. I get what you're saying, but like, can you see what I'm saying though? Like, if you weren't born here, if you were born to different parents, if you were raised in a different faith, and it's very easy to have Christianity presented to you nowadays with how globalized religion is, how easy it is to come into contact with, it would be impossible for someone of a different religion to say that they haven't been presented with Christianity as the other option.
Somebody looking at you and saying Christianity is true does not make you. What's the opposite word of ignorant? Is there another opposite word too? Anyway, somebody just saying Christianity is true except Jesus does not automatically mean that you have sufficient enough information to know it is true.
So how do you know what's sufficient enough to say, like, okay, they've been presented with enough that now
again, I don't need to provide the mechanism. The whole point is ignorance does not send you to hell. And you keep saying ignorance sends you to hell. Prove it. Give me a verse.
I'm saying that the way that you were raised today, like the way that you were brought up is going to lead you to being, according to the other faith, ignorant of their faith.
And ignorant doesn't send you to hell.
For the 10th
I know.
time.
Okay. Yeah. Stay with me. I get it. Ignorant doesn't send you to hell, but I'm saying it's obvious. It's easy to get other information about other religions. Easy for you to make yourself knowledgeable about what else is out there. So in theory, everybody is ignorant of every other religion.
That is so stupid, man. You're arguing that they're ignorant. Hold on. Here's your argument. You're arguing that they're ignorant, but because they didn't go out there and study everything and get all the knowledge, God is going to send them to hell?
Well, I'm saying that what would be convincing proof for them to say that, yes,
that's
a
different argument. A different argument. You can argue that there isn't sufficient enough or convincing evidence to say that Christianity is true. You could argue that, but that's a different argument. You said this is a reason that I couldn't reconcile and I left Christianity, which just tells me that you just heard what Pastor Bill told you in the mosh pit, in the pulpit, and you're like, I don't like that, and you left.
I mean, it wasn't that. It wasn't just that, though. It was that that no pastor had an answer. It was that nobody could. I mean, like we're talking about now me as a 10-year-old.
I just gave you an answer.
I know. I'm asking the question though. Like you're like, we don't live in a world of ignorance now. We live in a world where it's very easy to be aware of what else is out there. So you're saying, like, the way that I would see this then is everyone else is choosing ignorance, right? If you're Muslim, you're choosing ignorance.
Holy straw man, Batman. So you're just saying, okay. My argument isn't my argument isn't if you're ignorant and don't do the work to get the knowledge. My argument is you don't go to hell for ignorance. Doesn't matter how you're ignorant, you're still ignorant.
I know, but like, can you see how you're a perfect example of this? Like, you're asking us to convince you not to believe in Jesus. It would be the same thing as if someone grew up Muslim and you're saying, convince me not to believe in Allah. I'd be like, that's all I know.
Different argument. It's a
the
different
same-
argument. Now you're asking for the necessary or sufficient conditions to say that a religion is true. That's different.
Like John is saying,
I'm-
yes, even if the missionary goes into the jungle and tells the people about Jesus
Yeah.
and they still don't believe, you're still not going to hell. But that's still ignorance. Well, you might go to hell.
Yeah,
I don't
no.
know, but that's not. That's not it.
But now we get into the question of like, how is it?
Christians are like,
Yeah.
oh, I guess we shouldn't be missionaries then, haha, because then they'll know. That doesn't mean they know.
But yeah, but
So-
I mean, like now we get into the question
so
of like,
that's-
how do you know? Like, like how have you like how do you know how do you as a Christian know then that you've done your due diligence in terms of, or sorry, not as a Christian, sorry, as someone in a different faith, you've done your due diligence to look at some of these other religions and be like, no, I actually have made a hard
Different
and fast
argument.
choice.
It's a different argument, completely different argument, separate from the argument you are making. That's an external
Yeah,
critique.
look-
Your internal critique is I could not harmonize the simple fact that God would damn people to hell for not knowing. That is not the Christian worldview. If you concede that point, I will go to a different point.
Yeah, no, if that's what it is, and I don't read the scriptures like you obviously do. So I mean, if
didn't
that's what
read
it
it
says,
at all.
then that's a foul. I mean, I did. I'm calling you and talking about it. I'm trying to advance my faith and my understanding. And this is like, it's an ongoing process. It's not like I've made a hard and fast choice, but I'm just bringing up some of the points, which is what I'm thinking you're hoping for here. What else have people had that they've struggled with maybe and want to talk about? And maybe that's something you can push them in the direction where like, yeah, you know what, you were wrong about this. Maybe that is what you're doing here, but I feel like you think I'm trying to attack you, and that's definitely
No,
just
no,
wanted the
I don't think you're trying to
conversation.
attack me. I'm getting frustrated because I've answered this question 700 times and you keep trying to shift to a different topic.
I feel
It's
like you're
fine
not
if you want to
really-
do a different topic. We could do a different topic, but I need you to concede this one.
Okay, and I see where you're coming from, but I really don't think you're seeing it from my perspective, which is, if John, if you were born in a different place,
No,
right?
don't do it
location,
again. Please don't do it again.
Okay, no. I know where you think I'm going with this.
So
and I
here's
promise
what's
I'm not.
Mihao, you seem like a nice guy, but if you just repeat what you said, I'm
Yeah.
going to move on. Fair enough?
Yeah, no, that's fair enough.
So
That's
I
fair enough.
want something new
Okay,
to the
so
argument. Let's go.
Okay, so ignorance is not enough to be sent to hell or heaven, one way or the other.
Mm-hmm.
Just the fact that you don't know is not good enough for that to be the case.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you know then that? Like what level of understanding do you have to give to somebody who maybe is of a different faith for them to say like, okay, we've definitely tried and you're definitely ignoring this, and like now you're not at a point of ignorance, now it's willful ignorance, now you are actively choosing. Like
how am I
where's the
supposed to?
distinction there?
Yeah, I don't get to go into people's minds and figure out exactly what they do and do not know.
Yeah,
that's between
and
them and
maybe
God.
this is more of a philosophical question, I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah. So
all right, that's all I got for you, John. We don't need to go on to a different point. I appreciate you taking the call.
But this is a good point, and I don't want you to leave before you get it. The scripture literally says to work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. So it's not for me to say that you've been convinced enough. That's between you and God.
I appreciate it. Thanks, John.
All right, man. God bless. You seem like a nice guy. I was just getting frustrated on the circularity. Foul win. Hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you? Good. How old are you? How old? All right, let me bring you in, man.
21.
All right, can you convince me to stop worshiping Jesus? Go ahead.
Sure, yeah. So are you familiar with the prophecy in the Old Testament around Ezekiel?
Mm-hmm.
Ezekiel 40 to 48.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So my understanding is, and correct me if I'm wrong, that part of believing in Jesus is that he made the final atonement. There's no need for any additional atonement, correct?
Yeah. What's the argument first?
Well, this prophecy says that when God comes to earth, there will be sin offerings and there will be atonement required by people when God dwells on earth with his people.
Great.
So
okay.
my argument would be,
can you give me
if
the necessary
God
and
requires
sufficient
that-
conditions for the methodology and how we interpret prophecies and how they operate and the types of prophecies there are?
Sure. So my understanding, according to the Bible, is that there's some prophecies that are conditional, such God says, if X happens, then Y happens. Others are very specific and deliberate. My understanding is that God requires prophecies to be fulfillable. If you can't fulfill a prophecy, if it can't be understood, then it's no good. So for me, when I read this Ezekiel,
It can't be
it
understood is
seems
no
that
good. That doesn't make any sense because God constantly clarifies his prophecies because people didn't understand it. So where did you get that methodology?
I disagree slightly. My point would be that if, and I'll have to find the verse, but that if you can't fulfill a prophecy, if it can't be understood at all, then it's a prophecy then without meaning. After all, how would you know a true prophet from a false
18,
prophet?
Yeah, Deuteronomy. You're talking about Deuteronomy 18, and it says if a prophet comes and speaks to you things that don't come to fruition, then they are not a false prophet, and they should be put to death.
Yeah, and that just means it has to be intelligible, right? God wouldn't give a prophecy that
the problem with that, Moses would have to be put to death because Moses gave the prophecy of if you're going to hold to that like hyper literalistic view, Moses gave the prophecy of one like yours to arise from the nation, and that if Jesus is not the Messiah, that is yet to happen. If Jesus is the Messiah, it didn't happen until thousands of years later, and that means that they wouldn't have known that Moses' prophecy came to fruition, so they should put him to death.
That could be. Like I said, I don't believe the Bible's true, so it could have contradictions or problems. As I said, my main thing is on Ezekiel, just this one verse.
That's not in the Bible. It's just in the singular verse. You're going to have to say that verse itself has contradictions, and I'm gonna doubt that a singular author contradicted himself within a paragraph.
Sure, that's fine. I don't know who wrote it. As I said, an author can be many people from many times. I'd like to focus on Ezekiel, if that's okay.
Well, no, because again, my issue is in the methodology and how we interpret prophecy. Because you're going to read it one way, I'm going to read it another way, and we're just going to disagree each other and look at each other and say, "Nuh-uh."
Oh, I don't think we are. I'll tell you what, I'll put it this way. Could I just bring up a verse and you can tell me what you disagree? And if you tell me you have a very different view of this, then I'm happy to step off because I'm not trying to do a gotcha moment. I
think you're engaging good faith. I don't think you're doing a gotcha. You do seem to be like a genuine person. But my issue is, and I don't even use prophecy to prove Christianity. For example, I think Daniel 9 is one of the strongest prophecies about Jesus Christ. But again, I don't have a mechanism or methodology to confirm that. So it'd be a very silly reason for me to bring that up as an argument. So it's what you find convincing.
Let's put it this way. Let's say, and if this isn't what you want to talk about, I understand. Let's say there's an atheist. When I read Ezekiel, it talks about there being sin offerings. God's requiring sin offerings. And so if Jesus removed that need for sin offerings.
Jesus is the sin offering.
Can I read the verse and you can...
But he doesn't remove the sin offering. That's the thing.
So when they say that God is going to require sin offerings when he dwells on the earth, is that incorrect? So that's my confusion. When I read Ezekiel, it says there will be sin offerings made by the prince for the people.
Well, when Jesus was around, they were still sacrificing to the animals, right? And then even in the book of Acts, they still continue the sacrificing, even though it wasn't necessary. But even as a Christian, you still offer a sin sacrifice, which is the blood of Christ.
No, but they're talking about like sacrificing animals on top of... But they're talking about, they don't mention the Eucharist, they're talking about sacrificing animals on top of altars for sin offerings. And when the priests sin, they have to do sin offerings. So to me, that means they're sacrificing animals when God is on earth with the people. Like that hasn't stopped.
Well, that's what they did when Jesus was on earth with the people.
Yeah, but this is afterwards, right? Like Jesus is sacrificed, he's gone. And so in the future, when God dwells on earth, why would they be sacrificing animals on altars?
Okay, let's just go through it. What's Ezekiel what?
Yeah, so this is Ezekiel 45, 13 through 17. And the verse I'm looking at is specifically 17. And of course, pull it up.
Now when you divide the land of the Lord for the inheritance, you shall offer an atonement to the Lord, a holy portion of the land. The length shall be a length of 25,000 cubits, and the width shall be 20,000. It shall be holy with its entire surrounding boundary. Out of this there shall be for a sanctuary of square encompassing 500 by 500 cubits, and 50 cubits by its open space around about. From the area shall measure a length of 25,000 cubits, and width in 1,000 cubits, and it shall be in a sanctuary, the most holy place. It shall be a holy portion of the land. It shall be the priest that ministers of the sanctuary. You came near to serve the Lord, and it shall be a place for the houses of the holy place for the sanctuary. An area 25,000 cubits in length, and 10,000 shall be for the Levites, the ministers ministers of the house, and for the possession, cities in which we live. And you shall give the city a possession of an area of 5,000 cubits and 25,000 cubits long, alongside the atonement of the holy portion shall be for the entire house of Israel. And the prince shall have land on the side of the holy atonement, and the property of the city adjacent to the holy atonement, and the property of the city on the west side toward the west, and east towards the east, and in link comparable to one of the portions. From the west border to the east border.
I gave the wrong verse.
You said
I'm
Ezekiel
very
45 to
sorry.
17, right?
Yeah, I apologize. Let me make sure I'm looking at my notes here. It may have been 43, 18 to 22. Sorry, I may have been looking at the wrong thing. I'm going to double check that before I give that to you. Thank you for your patience. 43, 18 to 22. Make sure I've got the right thing. I'm going to look this up. I don't want to waste your time. I apologize. So I'll jump back in.
The sacrifices in Ezekiel's vision are literal physical buildings and sacrifices. The specificity of the measurements does not necessarily entail literal BTW.
Fair question. Sorry, go ahead. Val went in. It's on you.
Yeah, sorry. That person, I do think it's literal, but let me see here. 45, 13 through 17. I'm reading this offering that you make 160, blah, blah, blah. Offerings. Oh, yeah. So my understanding is in verse 17 where it says, this shall be obligation of prince regarding the burnt offerings. Several Bibles, NSAV, ERV, and the King James Bible translates that as sin offerings. So my question is,
then we'll
in
just
that,
look at the Hebrew.
Sure. Is that
okay? 45.
And I don't speak Hebrew. If you do,
17.
Awesome.
And concerning the prince, it shall be the burnt offerings and the grain offerings and the drink offering at feasts and the new moons and the Sabbaths and all at appointed times of the house of Israel. He shall prepare the sin offering and the grain offering and the burnt offering and the peace offering to make atonement on behalf of the house of Israel. Okay, so where's
right.
Jesus?
So when no, but this is saying when God's on earth, the people there will be doing this.
Where does it say God is on earth?
God's present. Sure, I can look up this verse. It talks about when God comes to live on earth. Let me find it. All right, so 43, 6 through 9. Let me see here. I heard someone speaking to me out of the temple. He said to me, mortal, this is the place of my throne and the place for the soles of my feet, where I will reside among the people of Israel forever. So the prophecy, the vision seems to be when God is saying, when I come here, when I live here, I'm going to reside in this temple with the people of Israel forever. And God is in fact eating with them. There's verses where it describes them sacrificing animals and allowing God to eat.
So again, this is why I said at the start that that prophecy is so hard to interpret. You interpret it that way. I don't interpret it that way. Right? Now what?
You don't interpret this as God living among the people?
Well, what does that mean? In what sense? Because it says he will dwell among his people in the tabernacle.
Oh, sure. Well, the previous verse, it says, as the glory of God entered the temple by the gate facing east. So this is a real gate that's facing east that God is coming to. And this, oh yeah, it's a vision from
visions
of the future.
Visions aren't hyper literal.
I guess my question is, what do you mean by hyper literal?
Well, there are visions where it says, for example, in Daniel, where it says a ram and a goat will butt heads with each other. That didn't actually happen, not a ram and goat butting heads with each other. He was talking about two nations going to war, and that's what he physically saw, was rams and goats butting heads with each other.
Oh, I agree with you. And I would say to you, though, you would agree, though, that because there can be symbolic prophecies, that doesn't mean we can take any prophecy and say, if we don't like what it says, we turn it into symbolic, right? You would agree with that.
I didn't say that either.
Oh, yeah.
That's a terrible position to have. I agree with you. What I'm saying is you haven't, this is why at the start of the conversation, I said, I need a methodology into determining. Because how do we determine when a prophecy is meant to be symbolic, poetic, it's meant to be grandiose, it's meant to be apocalyptic, or it's meant to be hyperliteral? As a matter of fact, I don't even see a prophecy that's just direct prophecy that is hyperliteral. I don't know of one off the top of my head. Maybe so you can point out one without begging the question.
Well, I think this one is a literal one because, and I'll say this because at a plain reading at the start of this, there's an angel figure that gives very specific measurements to Ezekiel, talking about the size of the temple. And I don't think you'd say, among this very literal prophecy where there is measurements of the temple, there's the number of altars described, where they'll be placed, all these rules and regulations, that there's a non-literal symbolic thing thrown in a passageway.
That's a very common thing in Hebrew, is to use numbers and measurements and sizes to give across symbolic meanings. So, for example, the number 40 doesn't usually represent an actual 40. It represents a time of trial. This is why when they wander the desert for 40 years, the understanding of that is just a time of trial. Or when Jesus came back, he came back for our 40 days and 40 nights, and then what are the number 7 represents a perfection. Like, Hebrew numbers are not numbers in the way we understood it, and there's a lot of numbers that we don't understand. So, for example, the patriarchs, the ending of their ages always land on specific numbers. It's not random. This shows a conveyed meaning behind the numbers, and we don't know what they meant by the numbers, but their ages probably weren't literal when it wrote it down. So you'd have to actually argue from the Hebrew perspective that they are using numbers in a literal way. But even if I am to grant this literal understanding of it, I still don't see a contradiction in what we said here, where it says, "And it shall be the prince's part to provide the burnt offerings and grain offerings and the drink offerings at the feasts and the new moons and the Sabbaths, at all appointed feasts in the house of Israel. He should provide the sin offering, the grain offering, the burnt offering, the peace offerings to make atonement for the house of Israel." That is the Eucharist. That is what's actively practiced in apostolic churches today.
Sure. So my point would be, and I agree, we could talk about the authors using symbolic numbers. I'm fine with that. But what I would say to you is, when we get into something very literal where it says things like, there's 2 tables on either side for the burnt offerings. There's 4 tables on the side. And these kind of numbers don't seem that we have to worry about, is there some secret meaning? It seems like he's describing a building that will exist. So
I'm gonna cut you off.
That's all I meant by that.
Yeah, because in Revelation, there's 7 lampstands. But those 7 lampstands don't represent actual 7 lampstands. He describes the temple in Revelation, and those all represent the churches and the leaders and the elders. They all have symbolic meanings. Even Jesus, the way he looks is all symbolic. Him having fiery eyes and hair like wool and bronze skin and all that is not just describing the way Jesus looks. It all has intended meaning because it's apocalyptic literature.
Sure, but I guess I would push back and say we can't take then anytime there's a description of a number to say that it has to have a secondary meaning. And if an architect, for example, gave me a description of a building and said, "Hey, I want 2 doors here, I want 4 here," I have to kind of take the author as, when they said an angel tells them this is how you'll build the temple, I can't say every measurement in here has to be ignored because theoretically it could be symbolic. I have to go, they were being truthful. This is how we saw the vision of where these temple items were.
Yeah, but that's reading ancient text through modern eyes.
I guess if that's your position, that I can't, if this prophecy that came apparently from an angel, I could be wrong. Well, is this building description? Can I take this literally?
Just real quick. I'm sorry, I keep cutting you off. It's not my position to say that this isn't literal or is literal. It's my position to say, hey, how do you differentiate? Because we have all these standards when it's not literal, and you just seem to be, you should just take it unless it says.
I guess I will put it this way, very honestly. I would look to experts and see what they think, and I try to see what the author is intending. And this author, to me, seems to be saying he saw a temple. He was given a description of it that was very important. I think it later declares, declare this prophecy or this description to the house of Israel. I think so they know how to build the temple when the time comes for God to live on earth. I have to take it at face value that while there may be some symbolism, this has to be a literal in some way. Otherwise, I don't know how they would build a temple if they couldn't take it literally about where the doors are supposed to be, how many altars. Anyway, this is going off the topic. Sorry. I guess I just say if there is going to be a future where God's on earth and there is a sacrifice continuing for sin, I guess I go, that means Jesus did not atone, because I don't think God would be living among people and asking them to atone for sins if that has already been done.
So there's a whole bunch of presuppositions that you're putting there. First of all, you're taking the presupposition that this is talking about the Jesus, right? And not just God residing inside the temple and dwelling among us.
No, I don't think it's Jesus. The prince could be anybody. I don't think the prince is necessarily Jesus at all.
Anyway, so it's not even talking about the fact that God resides within the temple, which is something that Jesus points out to the Samaritan woman at the well, right? That you will no longer need to go to the temple to see God. The implication there is that God is dwelling there. That's why the sheet is put up there and the sheet falls. The symbolism is that you no longer need to go there to see God. So there is that aspect of it. But so this prince, even if it is the messianic figure, and even if it is Jesus, Jesus still fulfilled 17 in the Eucharist. So I'm just saying, this is again my issue, and I normally like you're the only reason I went here with you is because you seem like a nice guy.
Sure.
I 90% of the time try to avoid prophecy because it's really, really difficult to interpret. It's one of the most difficult things to interpret out there.
You know what? I think I've made my point, and I don't want to stretch it out. I think prophecy is important because I don't hear this one talked a lot about, because I think it does make Christians uncomfortable, and not that should weaken your faith, but here it is talking about, to my mind, that it's when God's on earth, there are these sacrifices, and there's limitations to who can be in the presence of God.
But when was God
according
on,
to Ezekiel.
when was this God on earth? When is that saying? What is it
this
talking
is a future.
about?
It hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, but when? When exactly is this prophecy? That's what I'm trying to say. Is it talking about Christ? Is it talking about the Messiah? Is it just talking about when the second temple is built?
I think this hasn't happened yet. Simply because it doesn't seem to know about. I don't think it references Jesus at all. I think this is an author who didn't consider the idea of Jesus in the prophecy.
Well, that's
so. I think this has to be a future because God isn't on earth, as far as I know, in this temple, the way it's described.
Okay, but going back to God dwells on earth in the tabernacle, right? That's why you couldn't touch the Ark of the Covenant, because God dwelt in it. So when is it referring to God dwelling on earth?
It's a future. I don't know when this prophecy is meant to happen. I don't think it has happened. I think it's a future prophecy.
I know you keep saying that, but I want an actual methodology and how we come to these conclusions. And that's why, again, I think it's a problem when interpreting prophecy. Because again, if he's simply talking about dwelling with people in the temple, that's consistent with what he said in the past.
What I would say is, when you read the measurements of this temple, again, if you take them literally, as I tend to, it's bigger than the city of Jerusalem currently. And so to me, it means it has to be in the future, because there's no temple that's been built of that size for God. And also it says it's been lifted up onto a mountain. So for me, I go, this has to be something about the future. And the methodology is reading the text and saying the description doesn't match anything we know of.
I think you should throw out the hyperliteralism when it says a temple is going to be lifted up and placed on a mountain.
I guess you could ask me to do that, but I can't do that if I'm going to take the rest of this seriously. I think the author really saw this as an elevation of Jerusalem and Israel.
Oh, I agree. An elevation of Jerusalem placed on top of a mountain. There's good symbolism behind that. But you're taking it hyper literally, that they're going to build this huge ass temple and God's going to pick it up and put it on top of a mountain. And again, when I see all prophecies go through the Old Testament, I don't see this hyper literalistic view. I can't think of a prophecy that's hyper literalistic to that extent.
That's fair. Yeah. I tend to, because I think this was more of an end times God's promise. So I think they would expect that to happen.
If it's eschatological, then it's apocalyptic, which means it's not literal by genre.
Well, I see your point. I'll just say this, and I think we've run it out, but I'll say I can accept that some things could be metaphorical, but when the angel says, give these measurements to the house of Israel, it seems to me these are very specific. And anyway, I've made my argument. I don't think I could respond any better than I have now. And I thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
All right, man. Well, you do seem like a nice guy, so God bless.
Yeah, have a good day.
Peace. C Potato, you wanted to bring up this verse. 7:11 through 17 says, so perfection was through the Levitical priesthood. For one basis of it, the people received the law. What further need was there for another priest to arise according to the order of Melchizedek and not be designated according to the order of Aaron? For when the priesthood is changed of necessity, there takes place a change of law also. For the one about whom these things are said belongs to another tribe, from which no one has officiated the altar. For it is evident that our Lord was descended from Judah, a tribe with reference to which Moses said nothing concerning the priests. And this is clear still. If another priest arises according to the likeness of Melchizedek, who has become a priest not on the basis of law of physical requirement, but according to the power of indestructible life, for it is attested in him. I don't know why you got me to read that. Maybe I'm missing something. I trust you, though. I'm going to say that smarter people than me figured it out. Guess who's confusing Levitical and Melchizedek sacrifices? Oh, hold on. You want to come up and explain. Okay. Explain away.
All right. I didn't hear the first part of it, but I kind of gathered, you can correct me if I'm wrong, that the reason he's discussing this topic is because he's saying that future prophecy indicates there will be sacrifices at the temple, and therefore, how can Jesus be the sacrifice for sin?
Yeah. No. He's saying that when God dwells among us. So his argument, if I'm going to steelman it, is Ezekiel says when God dwells among us, there will still be sacrifices. The prince will be doing the sacrifices, right? And Jesus did away with the sacrifices, therefore it can't be him.
Right. So there's a couple different takes on that. Even within Christianity, people debate about this. So some people argue that there will be sacrifices in a future millennial temple. However, that they'll be done in memorial. They won't be done for actual like atonement of sin.
Mm-hmm.
But the more prevalent view that I see in Hebrews, and the thing that I think that he might have been misunderstanding, is that Hebrews 7 makes it clear that the sacrifices that are going on in the temple are under the Levitical priesthood. And it's distinguishing between the sacrifice that Jesus did, which was under the order of Melchizedek. So the problem is that the Levitical priesthood sacrifices were never for eternal sin. They could never save the soul. That's kind of the point of the book of Hebrews. But the point of them was more for sanctification of external things, objects, the flesh, being able to approach the temple of God, things like that. So the issue is that if sacrifices are reinstituted in the future under the Levitical priesthood, that's not in conflict with the sacrifice of Jesus, which is the sacrifice for our soul for all of eternity, because it's an entirely different priesthood. And that's what that passage that I just had you read in chapter 7, that's what it distinguishes. It says that this is not the same thing as Levitical priesthood sacrifice. So therefore, there wouldn't be a contradiction.
Okay. All right, man. Appreciate you.
Yep. Take care.
It's too smart for me. All right, I'm going to do one more, and then we're going to call it a day, guys. So Abby can do her stamps. We'll try to do one quickly. Cognitive Ninja. Hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you? Oh, hold on. Let me unmute you. All right, go ahead. Oh, it's doing the thing again. I feel like I got to refresh this all the time. I got to go back to using Brave just for this. Let me bring you back up. All right, Cognitive Ninja. Going once. Going twice. And sold. All right, guys. We're going to call it a day here. What I want you guys to do, if you guys are watching over on YouTube, a video is dropping in 15 minutes. Actually, it might be out now. I think I set it for 4. Let me check. No, it's not out now. So I got a video dropping in 15 minutes on my YouTube channel. I want you guys to go watch it. I want you guys to go watch it when it drops. So make sure that you're subscribed, hit the bell icon, do those things over on YT. Get that done. That would be great. As well, we're going to do a D&D session. What time did you pick here? Tentatively on the 18th of July. Right? Right, Abby? Yeah, 18th of July. So if you guys want to play D&D with me and with the crew, make sure you're in the Discord. And that's where we're going to update all the information and everything will be part of it. If you've never played D&D before, we'll help you with a character. They're going to be one-shot sessions, so you don't have to commit long-term. You just get to play it once, and then you're done. And then the next week, the next person gets to play, and every week, or whenever we do it, monthly, weekly, bi-weekly, whenever we do it, the next group will get to play. So everybody will get a chance to play. If you're not playing that day, you can watch and participate as the crowd. Maybe the DM will allow you to add in things or contribute things, right, based off what you're saying. Right? Maybe you could spam the chat and be like, I want to see these things happen. That's fine. We all ask that you just respect the DM. It's going to be hard, fast rules. If you play the game and you bring up anything around theology or you ask me any questions, you try to debate me, it's an instant ban. It's for the game and the game alone. So I'll be an instant ban if you do that. You might get one warning. So yeah, if you want to participate in that, we're going to go tentatively for the 18th, right? Soft 18 right now. We'll see how it goes. Also, if you want to support this channel, you could do so at bigjohnsteel.com, BIGJONSTEEL.com. Where you get access to exclusive content. So for example, we're putting out a video today that's about 18 minutes long, but there's a 4-hour version of the video on the website if you want to watch it there. No warning for me, insta-ban. Excellent, insta-ban. So no theological discussions, no debates, no trying to do anything like that. Yeah, we are nerds. So it's going to be a good way for me to get to know you guys because you guys get to know me, but I don't get to know you. So I'll play every game. I'll participate. and we'll introduce, again, one-shot sessions for people. We have a tabletop simulator. I forget what it's called, what he's using. So it will be visual, and we'll try to help you guys along. The first session, we're going to pre-select people. We want you guys to come watch the first session, but our first session, just to make sure everything runs, we're going to pick people that we know and trust. And then after that, we'll open up for people for the second session. So make sure you're subscribed on YouTube if you want to watch it. We'll stream it here, and then we're going to put it on the website afterwards. And then as well, make sure you're on the Discord. All links will be in my bio for that. What am I forgetting, Abby, for plugs?
Website? Did you do the website?
We did the website, yeah.
I don't think anything then.
Website, Discord, got the video coming out in 15 minutes. So make sure you go watch that in 15 minutes. Make sure you're subscribing to YouTube. Look, I got a little thing that tells you to do that, right? Make sure you hit subscribe if you're here, and hit the like button. With that being said, let's do a prayer and let's get out of here. Our Father is in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us of our debts as we also forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Lord, you are good. Thank you for all that you provide. Thank you for guiding us and walking with us. I ask that those that come against us, that you walk with them. And Lord, if we're wrong in what we do, correct us. And my prayer is all over the place. Lord, forgive me. But yeah, walk with us, be present with us, forgive us of our sins, never turn your face from us, and continue to give us grace and give us opportunity to share the gospel. Yeah, you are good. We are not. In Jesus' name, amen. In the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. We love you guys. I need an ending screen, so it's not just such abruptly. We're going to do it. Those are two things I'm going to do today. I'm going to put it in my notes. We're going to add an ending screen, and I'm going to add the Are You Entertained? And we'll see what happens. All right, folks. Love y'all.
Someone opened up their mouth today. He's running.